Welcome to the 21st edition of a Skyrim Addict Podcast Roundtable.
Yay!
Woo!
This is the first episode of Season 4, The Dawn Guard. We are the show who compares and contrasts Skyrim experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, Andrew, Colin, Michael.
Hello. My mic off. Hello.
Don't bury the lead, Victor. Tell us who's all here.
Oh, God. I started talking and realized I had muted myself.
Oops. So it's been a couple weeks since we've checked in with everyone. How is everyone doing? Victor, you still in Massachusetts? Are you out on the road this week?
No, as far as I know, I'm in Massachusetts today. Sometimes it's hard to remember. I was in Pennsylvania earlier in the week, but I'm back here, so.
Very nice. Glad to say hi to you again, Victor. Hello, and Colin.
Andrew, how you doing?
Very well. How are things over across the pond, as all Americans are required to say?
Yeah, it's a hole, but you know, it's a nice hole. It's a reasonable hole, I suppose.
If you had to find yourself in a hole, that one's not half bad.
Yeah, I'd go with that. They're much nicer holes, but you know.
But they're all really expensive.
Yeah. This is sort of like, you know. At least I know this hole.
That's true.
And Michael, hello. How are you today?
Oh, fantastic.
Great. Glad everyone could make it this week. We're missing one. He's off at Surprise, another beer fest of some sort, I'm assuming.
There's a shock of all shocks.
Yeah, really.
He likes to go, put value on other people's artisanship by, giving them a grade or on their beer product. I guess I can't blame him. He has a good time with it. And, Gets to have lots of fun outings out in Southern California. Who wouldn't enjoy that?
He's a very busy guy, very popular guy.
Yeah, he's always getting pulled this way or that.
Mm.
So shout out for Juan. We'll miss your character introduction today, Juan, but you can catch us up next time. That'll be cool. How's everyone been playing? You've been enjoying your new characters and everything so far? I guess that would just be Victor, right? Victor, you're the only one who has a new character?
Yeah, actually, I gotta say I'm enjoying this one probably more than any other except Slythe. I think she's one of my favorites I've ever made, so I'm having a really good time with her.
So let's go ahead and do a little introduction. What do you like about her? What's her name? Who is she? What's she doing?
Her name is Doria Stentor. She's a Breton female, obviously. She's related distantly to the court wizard from Solitude, the Sybil Stentor. She is now a vampire. Should I go through the whole stats thing and everything? You want me to do that now, or?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and get into character intros.
Yeah. Well, she was rolled a spread of 1 magicka, 3 stamina, and 2 health. Her skills are alteration, archery, and speech. Her follower is supposed to be Belival. I have not gotten to that yet, but I will be eventually. And we'll go on to other things later, where she is now. But those are Those were the basic roles.
Now, when we were doing our rolls, we had to roll for you a few times on your follower because you were supposed to be a vampire, but we kept drawing Dawn Guard. Did we finally figure out someone to get you?
Well, I have my alternate is Teldrin Sero from Solstheim there, so but we'll see.
He shouldn't have anything to do with either, so.
No.
So have you gone to see Serana yet?
Oh yeah. I've completed all the quests for this episode. So.
Okay. I didn't know, in my ignorance, that Serana would count for your follower.
Yeah, once you get her, she's your follower.
That sucks.
For me, it doesn't matter since I'm playing with follower mods. So.
So you can tack on as many as you want, probably.
Yeah. So
Have
pretty much
a 40-man brigade.
No, well, Doria has turned out to be a pretty solitary sort. So she's only dealt with Serana when necessary. So
The relationship is stiff at best.
yes, something like that. Cordial, I think is
There you go.
you know.
And Colin, you're continuing with the same character from last season. Would you like to give us a reintroduction?
Sure. My name's Colin. My character's name is Jonaria Argvalen. She is a Dunmer. Her specialities were smithing, destruction, and sneak. She's got 100 in all three. She's currently level 69. It's a fully modded game, even with a magic overhaul. So there's lots of extra different special spells and sort of, like, you know, alternate ways of attacking situations than from the vanilla one. She's currently rocking dragon light armor, dragon scale or dragon bone, something similar to that. And her stat spread was 2 magicka, 3 health, and 1 stamina. She's met up with Serana, and she's currently living in Tel Nalta.
Nice.
It's an extremely
Oh,
well-made mod, and you know the new feature that they were talking about with Fallout 4, with you can build your own settlement. That's basically what this mod is a settlement. It's exactly the same as what I think they're going to have in Fallout 4. So
expand on your settlement a little bit. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a giant. It starts off as a little town where Neloth sends you a note saying now that Skyrim is in complete turmoil with the Civil War, it's now time to strike and build our own outpost in Skyrim so we can, I don't know what they call it, strike while the iron's hot, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives you instructions of how to start up an old settlement. And so you bury some soul gems and some mushrooms, and a little pod grows out of that, and that becomes the blacksmith's pod. But it's a mushroom like over in Soulstone. And then you build, and sort of like, you know, you can hire a blacksmith, and he will work there. And he's kind of voice acted. It's the original orc voice actor. So you can only sort of like barter and trade and things like that with him, like he's like the orc in Markov, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a different voice actor that he's hired. But you build this whole thing in its entire town. So you'll have a shop, you have an alchemist, you have like a basement, you have 2 towers that can go in. It's a real huge mod. I've done a video on it. It's on the Skyrim Addict feed. It's only a short 30-minute thing, but it shows you how big it is and sort of like how good it is. You got a few extra special followers and everything like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds like great fun living in a giant mushroom house. It's really cool. And Michael David, would you like to reintroduce us to your character, sir?
Yes, I'm still using my female orc, Mrs. Peabody. She is a level... I just pulled it up. Level 62 right now. No, sorry, 52. Originally, she was 321 health, magic, stamina. Still rolling with that. I think it was...
Probably got lots of health build up by now.
I'm up to 360 in health. I think I'm 1 behind on health, where I should be. It was Mythic Enchanting, Light Armor, and the other 2 are 100. Light Armor's 80. And right now, I'm just, with this character, I'm trying to get everything to 100. So, Sneak's almost there. I got to start working on Pickpocket. That's way behind. But I'm pretty balanced still between two-handed, one-handed, and archery. Archery's a little ahead. But the other 2 are both over 50 and 60, so it's not like that.
So I assume if you're trying to max out each level and get to the 81 cap, that you have given up on just playing straight and you're like doing some grinding and that sort of thing?
No, I'm still playing it pretty straight.
Okay.
I'm just using different skills depending on different things. I have a house full of women right now.
Oh boy.
It's myself, it's Oriella the Bard, it's Lydia, it's Gilfrey, it's Serana, it's Lucia, and it's
Got a house full of them.
And-
Where's your homestead again?
still Yarkin.
Nice.
So Yeah, and I figure once I get everything to 100, I'll go legendary on everything and see how terrible that would be.
Everything at once.
Yeah, everything at once, and then leave it on legendary and see how bad that would.
Well, at least you get all the perk points to reinvest at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can't unlock certain things until you're certain levels.
Yeah, I'll have to start all over. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go legendary on anything because I got to switch to heavy armor soon. Once I get to 100, and I got to make some armor, things like that. But
your armor should be pretty sweet since smithing was one of your skills.
yeah, I have the dragon scale right now, so when I switch, it'll be dragon bone. So.
And did you recently get a PC or something, Michael?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. How are you enjoying that so far? Have you overloaded with mods?
No, I have about 40.
That sounds like a lot to me.
But they're almost. But I'm just doing it through the Steam Workshop, so it's incredibly simple. Couldn't be any simpler than that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much all audio and visual. I think I did add Falscar as well. That was the only other thing I added, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. I just started playing that character, but I've been playing a lot of Fallout and this character, so I haven't done a lot on that one yet.
Sweet. Sounds
but
good.
The videos, the graphics mods are great. Just adds that little bit of life to everything.
Mm-hmm. I saw some pictures Victor uploaded, and I'm always jealous of looking at everyone's modded pictures.
It looks so good.
Just the character's face.
Yeah.
It's so much better, too. I mean, in Skyrim, I don't think they're particularly bad, much better than Oblivion, but still with the mods, they can be a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's just all these little things that are added that are nice, that I'm not used to. I'm like, wait, that smoke wasn't there before. Oh, that's because it should be there.
Yeah. Nice.
Just little stuff like that. But.
Well, welcome you guys. Glad to speak with you again. I can do a brief introduction of my character as well. I rolled an Ultimer female. I named her Sisyphona because I was looking around on the UESP Ultimer lore, and I found out that all Ultimer choose their names from a distinct section of surnames, and so they have like just two ends. You can have a prefix and a suffix, and you pick one from each column, and that's how they form all their names, evidently. So PSY was from the first column, and SEPHONA was from the second column, so Sisyphona is my Ultimer female. We have a magicka of 1, stamina of 3, and health of 2, with destruction magic, block, and light armor. I like the destruction magic. I haven't done a ton of playing around with destruction magic in the past, so I've been enjoying playing around with destruction. So far I've been choosing the electrical mage, the shock mage path. So with that's been pretty fun. But I remember a long time ago I was playing with some shock stuff, and evidently one of the perks you can pick is to disintegrate people and turn them into an ash pile. But I was reading somewhere that it might be a bad idea to do that because the ash piles stay there forever, whereas dead bodies will sort of cycle out. So if it might cause save file problems. Just bloat your save file if you're a shock mage and have piles of ash just laying all over the countryside. For some reason, they don't disappear like the bodies do.
That happens in Whiterun a lot with those vampire attacks right by the gate.
Yeah, so you just have piles upon piles of vampires.
Yeah, the people come running out to fight the vampires and die inevitably.
Hey, Colin, my follower is supposed to be Belrand.
Oh, God. That guy sucks. You're gonna kill him, especially if you're an elf. You're gonna kill that guy.
I haven't. I already went and got Serana, so I haven't even pretended to look for him.
Oh, right. Yeah, was it Serana? I saw your post about she won't carry your stuff because she doesn't want you to get your hands on her Elder Scroll or something like that. So,
yeah.
But once you go back to the castle and drop her off.
Yeah.
When you rejoin her afterwards, then sort of like,
then
you
she'll
can
carry
get
stuff.
That's it. Just carry
Nice.
all
Good.
the ingots and sort of like, the iron swords.
Yeah. So, Victor, where are you living? We didn't assign any homesteads yet to
I
the new
am.
characters.
I'm living in a lightly modded Anissa's cabin.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really sweet little mod. I forget exactly what it's called. It is called Anissa's Cabin Remodeled. Simple enough. And it's the author sort of did over the basement very nicely. It's not as dank, and it has a shrine to Nocturnal down there, and a nicely redone enchanting font instead of a enchanting table. It's got the usual, the alchemy station, and then upstairs is still roughly the same, but the author kind of rearranged things slightly and made it nicer, put a nicer table in, and fixed up the roof a little bit. And then I used a mod called Jackson Z's Positioner, and in which you can sort of copy and paste just about anything that's not nailed down anywhere in Skyrim. So I moved a forge over there, and
Nice.
a grinding stone, and an armor table, and
Tanning
rack. Although
Tanning rack, yeah.
every once in a while, things like that tend to
Hot tub.
yeah, hot tubs would be great. Once in a while, things like that tend to crash out, so my tanning rack stopped working. It would just crash the game every time I tried to use it, so I got rid of that. But I also have the fletching table from a mod I'm using called Knock to Tip, and that's over there as well. So eventually I'm going to move in a few more things, and it's really nice. It's a nice spot anyway, and so that's where I'm staying.
What is fletching? Is that making arrows?
Yeah, it's a Knock to Tip is a mod that adds sort of an arrow crafting as well as a few other things to the game. It will add perks if you don't have a perk overhaul already, but if you do, then you just sort of load it before, so your perk overhaul overwrites it, and the perks go away. But the author added them in as books, so you can find the books somewhere in Skyrim, and it'll give you the skill if you want it. As soon as you're at the right level. But yeah, it's a great mod. It adds, you have to find shafts and knocks and tips and feathers and all kinds of stuff and put them all together and make arrows.
Can you also forge the
Yes,
tips
you
and
can
stuff
still
like that,
forge. You can still forge arrows, and you can still improve vanilla bows both at the fletching table or at the restringing part of the fletching table, and also at the forge. So it's integrated really well into the game. So
Cool.
yeah, it's a cool mod.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Um,
that's perfect for her because one of her skills is archery. So
very
Boo.
nice.
what's that, Colin?
Boo.
So, does anyone remember the name of the farm where they grow nernroot, sort of in the shadow of the Throat of the World mountain there, sort of close?
Yeah, it starts with an S, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Satlas or something like that, or.
Well, that's my honey.
Ah.
Is that your spouse?
I don't know why, but I just chose to marry the farmer lady there. She and I believe it's her daughter. And so we live on a little farm there, and that's where I've been storing all my stuff. There's not much there, just an alchemy table in the basement. So it's been interesting trying to find a place to do all my crafting and,
Yeah,
alchemy's good there, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit there.
Yeah, there's no smith in Iverstead, is there?
Oh,
Yeah.
So
I've just been doing it as I come across them, like out on the countryside. I haven't really been setting aside and doing it all at once. I've just been doing it as I go, which is a big difference for me. Usually I stockpile everything and then have like big marathon smithing parties or whatever. So
yeah. The nearest one's probably Shore Stone or something, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've stopped by there a few times already. Yeah. But it's been interesting. Much different play style. I've been, at least for the first good long while, I wasn't doing any fast traveling. I've been doing mostly just running around, and when I was running around, I was headed towards the farm over there to go meet my sweetie, and I just happened upon Fort Amol when I was really low level, so I decided to go ahead and pop in there, and I grabbed the bound bow, even though archery isn't one of my skills. It's been nice to have the bound bow around.
That's hard to get at a low level, though.
It is, you're right. I died quite a few times.
Those guys are not easy in there.
No, that's a tough one.
The mages in there will, fry you pretty quickly.
Yeah, I definitely had to bump my difficulty level down a little bit. Especially with this play style of not fast traveling and all that. I would attempt to get from point A to point B like 6 or 7 times before I would make it sometimes. And it's just like, got to save way more frequently and, do lots of run away and, tuck the weapons away and live to fight another day types of things. Yeah. I don't know if it was the last episode of Season 3, but I talked about this brave orc warrior who I'd never really met before, who I met one time wandering around out in the countryside, and you guys all said, yeah, that's he's a random orc, you come across him every once in a while. But I'd never come across him before. I've already come across him 3 times in this playthrough. And I haven't fought him yet. I think it's just because I run past him and then go off and get killed by something else, and then he'll respawn somewhere else in the game, and I actually just happen to run across him again.
Oh, the old orc that I killed with the Dead is Dead character that I should have never attempted.
Yeah, he's usually got a couple of saber cats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fought a couple of them usually, and then
I decided to leave him alone and just run away.
He's pretty high leveled, actually.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's a pretty tough battle. I remember the first time I came across him at like some bridge, and I was like, "Oh, it's just one dude."
Yeah.
I can take this old man.
Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe this wasn't a good idea.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the show for this evening. We'll go ahead and get into our quest for this evening, and this is the first episode of Season 4, so we'll just announce our schedule here. We're doing quest number 1, Dawn Guard, number 2, Awakening, and teaming up with our Dawn Guard quests for this season, we will also be tackling the Daedric quests, and there is an achievement here for getting all the Daedric stuff, and I have already ruined my chances of actually getting that achievement in the first episode. I did not read ahead.
Best friend.
Yes, I did not read ahead to figure out that you can screw that up already. So, quest number 4 is Taste of Death. 3 would be the Black Star or Azura Star. Number 4 is a Taste of Death, and quest number 5 for this evening is a Daedra's best friend with everyone's favorite pooch, Barbas.
Barbas!
Yeah. He's a good dog. So we'll go ahead and get into Dawn Guard. Colin, would you like to give us a walk through Dawn Guard and tell us how you fared and some of your general experiences?
Sure. It started millennia ago when we started Season 3. Let's see. I believe it was actually the orc. I believe it was Durak. I was walking into... No, it was Soulstone. I was going to say Whiterun. It was actually Soulstone because I went straight there. Yep, I was on Soulstone. And he came up to me and let me know of the Vampire Menace and asked me if I knew about it and would I like to join the Dawn Guard, who have realized that the vampires are up to something, so we need to find out what it is and put a stop to it. And you got a few speech options there, but eventually he's inviting you to come and speak to the leader of the Dawn Guard, a man by the name of Isran, to find out what the vampires are up to. Or it can be initiated by just a guard mentioning it, that he's going to join it. So when that happens, you head off to the Rift, right at the tail end of Riften, the very, very back, and quite close to the border. Once you get out there, you go through a cave, and that brings you out into Dayspring Canyon, and that's where Fort Dawnguard is. Once you travel out there, you go and speak to a man called Isran, and he's having a conversation with a vigilant of Stendar, the name of Tyrannus, I think, something like that. And he's saying that the whole of the vigilance has been wiped out by the vampires. A fellow by the name of Carset is dead, and they're on the prowl, and they got ripped apart. And it turns out that Eastran is a former member of the vigilance, and he told them the whole time, "You guys suck. We need to stop the vampires now." And then he turns to you, and that ends Dawnguard, I believe. He talks to you, I think.
Yep, and then that'll start your next quest,
Awakening.
Yes. So did anything special, eventful, or anything happen? Did you just hoof it over to Riften, or how are you traveling these days?
I see. I ran to Whiterun, stole Friday Greymane's necklace, then went out and got the carriage to Riften, and then hoofed it from Riften.
Yeah, I'm trying not to fast travel, so I have used a few carriages. That's new to me too. That's really fun to use those as well, because it'll make you plan out your paths a little bit more. You can't really just hop around the map so easily. You know, it'll send you to a hub, and then you got to figure out, okay, it's like going to a big airport, and then like, oh crap, now I have to catch the train to go out to the smaller town.
The local.
Yeah, I got to get the local express out to the suburbs or whatever. But, yeah, that's fun. I like using the wagons.
I forgot on your way up to the castle, you meet some young kid who's just about to join the Dawnguard as well. So I can't remember his name.
I believe Victor might.
No, I can't remember his name. I was just trying to think of it.
Well, if you think back to our attributes draft, he was your first draw, I believe.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay, yeah.
Agbear.
Yeah.
Agmir, that's it, yeah.
And so we've come across the problem with this, where our vampire contestants have drawn the favor of trying to get some Dawnguard followers. So who knows if that will be possible.
That'll be an interesting one.
We'll see if that's even possible at some point. So report back on that. Did you pick up any crossbows on your way in?
Yeah, there's that one by the campfire, right?
I think there's
he gives you one.
Yeah, there's a guy, if you chit-chat out there, he'll give you a crossbow and some steel bolts. And even Isron, I think, has one for you inside somewhere, too.
Yeah, he does,
there's one sitting on some boxes or something.
Yeah, no, he gives you one once he says, go and check out this cave that Tyrannus is talking about. He goes, it'll take him out easier, but it's slow to reload or something. Mm-hmm. And then you get a little tutorial as he's teaching the kid how to use it, if you stay around long enough.
And you're standing beside him, like, I already know this, but maybe I'll just watch in just in case.
Yeah.
All right, so we can go on to Awakening.
Oh, well.
Sorry, what?
I'll tell you about when I arrived at...
Okay, yeah, tell us. What happened at Dawnguard?
So I forget who the follower I had was. It's Dark Elf Mage. He was rolling with me. We went into Dayspring Canyon. We walked down, went to talk to the fine young gentleman down by the lake. And he turned red and started attacking us.
Oh, no.
So we killed him. So we moved on, and the guy by the campfire started attacking us. And I'm like, this is a problem. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. So we ran up to Fort Dawnguard, and they all started attacking us. So I'm like, all right, what the hell? What did I do to cause this? So I went back out, came back in with him again. I reloaded just outside and tried it again. And same thing. I'm like, what in the world is going on? This is something is not right here, obviously. So then I reloaded somewhere else, came back. Eventually, I finally got rid of him, and he was the issue. So I don't know why. They hated him, and they killed me because they hated him.
Huh.
Did he contract the virus?
I guess that's the only possible thing that could have happened. But it's not like I picked up a vampire follower. It just, unless he caught it along the way somewhere. I don't know. I was at a loss. I was like, what is going on here? Because I've never had that happen where they all attacked me when I walked in there.
And I've never known my followers to actually be infected with the virus while, like, during battle either. I don't, not that I've ever noticed, but
yeah,
I've
I've
never seen that happen. So
no, but it happens apparently, or something happens. Let's put it that way.
So did you go grab someone else, or did you just
I just
have
did
it alone?
I was only keeping him around for that Boethia quest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gonna kill him.
Well, maybe you still can.
Well, I don't even remember who he was now, so I'll never find him again. I'll have to get somebody else. So just the way it's gonna go. I thought it would. I thought he would be nice to have around until, but I was gonna lose him anyway once I got to Serana, so it really didn't matter.
Do all of you have a favorite person that you pick out for this Boethia quest that'll happen later on in the season?
If we've got Serana, me and Victor will be able to do it, but you guys won't.
No.
Because you have to finish the quest first, or what?
You have to
mods or what?
No, Serana is your follower. You can't have another follower, so you can't do the Boethia quest.
Yeah, until she's gone.
Oh,
until
that's
she's
right.
gone.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to put the Boethia quest in the last episode.
The last episode. Yeah, we didn't think of that. We already moved it back once, I think. We did move it back far enough. Yeah, have to keep
I forgot about that. You can't grab a follower. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Stupid Serana.
I'd say the most frequently sacrificed by my characters is Faendal.
Oh, yeah.
but I haven't decided who I'm going to sacrifice this time.
Well, we've got a little bit of news on that front. I was hoping Juan would be here this week because he has produced a random number generator that will produce a name for you guys. We'll bust that up. What's that?
To have to sacrifice?
Yes, he has generated a random name producer that he will pick a name for you to have to go sacrifice. So we'll bust that out when we get a little closer to the Boethia quest, but we'll have Juan take care of that. But he worked on the side a little bit there, so I thought that would be interesting and fun. It's a good suggestion from Juan. Randomize the person you have to slaughter. That's also assuming that they didn't die randomly somewhere else in the game, and you just waste a ton of time just looking for this person who doesn't exist anymore.
Who is no longer available.
Yes. All right, anybody else have anything for our intro to the Dawn Guard here? Everyone get over there okay?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, aside from that, yeah.
I always have time finding the crack in the wall.
Yeah, me too. I always have trouble finding it, but
it always takes me forever. I'm running around out there sort of southeast, east of Riften somewhere.
Well, the marker is on the map is not actually where you have to go. That's the problem.
And there's a paved path that leads directly to it, but
it's also on the opposite side that you think it would be on.
Yeah, and the paved path that you can take there says you cannot go that way, where it's obvious you're staring down a long, perfectly paved roadway, and you're thinking to yourself, why can I not go this way? It's perfectly open. There's no gate closed. There's a paved road in front of me. Where does that road lead to? Is that off to Hammerfell?
One of the other regions. I don't remember which that particular road leads to, though.
Yeah,
Morrowind, I think?
Morrowind.
That might be the Morrowind road, yeah.
I always have trouble finding that little crack, even though this is only like my second time ever attempting to do the Dawn Guard. I did it as a vampire the first time, and this playthrough I'll be playing on the Dawn Guard side. I don't know, did we actually get into that, guys? Who are you guys? What sides are you on?
Oh,
Michael? Michael's on Dawn Guard. Victor?
I'm a vampire, yeah.
Vampire, and Colin...
I will be vampire, yes.
Evil vampires. So, what about your character made you want to choose vampires, Colin?
She's so stained in blood that she's got used to the smell of it, so she thought she'd try some. That's pretty much it. She's heard about the Dawn Guard. That was it. I did find a reason. Although she's an elf and she's going to live for quite a long while, she wants immortality, and vampire is possibly the easiest way to gain immortality, unlike some doofus who went to war with a Daedra we all know and love. recently. Living the rest of his life in a shelf, dumbass.
And Victor?
Well, I had never played with Vampire before, so that was my own motivation. But as for Doria, she's just young and impetuous, and she made a split decision. A split-second decision when confronted with Harkon, and took the gift. And she may live to regret it. We'll see.
And what is your beef with the vampire side, Michael?
Oh, I just happened to have played it as a vampire like a month ago. So I was like, yeah, let me go back to Dawnguard side. It just happened to be, I just happened to just recently play through it as a vampire. So I was like, go the other way.
Well, I've played it through, like I said, as a vampire a couple years ago, and I have never done the Dawnguard side. So we're doing Dawnguard for our side, so go good guys. One thing I am concerned about, being on the Dawnguard lets you have the advantage of being able to adopt Bran, the war dog. There's another husky-looking war dog over there too, and some frost trolls and armored trolls and all sorts of cool stuff that the Dawnguard lets you take out. But I was over in Markarth earlier in the game. Let's see, it must have been when we were doing the Taste of Death stuff, and I happened to hire Vigilance, and Vigilance is no longer with me, and I'm hoping that he died somewhere. Otherwise I've bugged my animal follower yet again, which has been just a constant battle with me throughout the years with this game.
Oh, God.
People asking about my ghost dog all the time. I hope that doesn't happen again. So I was looking forward to taking Trolls or maybe Bran or the other cool husky-looking dog out from the Dawnguard. Thought that would be fun. But hopefully that's not bugged out for me. I hope Vigilance died and I just didn't lose him somewhere. And that can bug you out for the longest time. All right, so we'll go ahead and get into Awakening then. Victor, what was your experience with the number 2 quest, Awakening?
Well, this is the quest that Isran gives you, and you are required to go and investigate the Dim Hollow crypt, and you will. When you get in there, you'll hear a conversation between a couple of vampires talking about that poor vigilant Tolan who you met at Fort Dawnguard, who that's kind of a sort of, a slightly, I don't know, poignant or whatever. It's kind of a cute little twist to the story. I don't know. He's sort of a noble fellow and died well, I guess. And then you fight your way through. It's a fairly tough fight in spots depending on your level. I forget exactly where I was. I was under level 20, I think, by a fair amount. So I wasn't under leveled. I think the suggested level for this one is under 10, so you're okay. But there's a lot of vampires to fight your way through, and some skeletons and things, and then you get to the last area there. Now, I should say that another mod I use a lot called One with Nature. I chose early on for Doria to be allied with the spiders. She just has an affinity with the spiders, so they don't attack her. So in a couple of spots, you could do it with almost any animal faction in the game through this mod, and sometimes I'll do it with wolves, and sometimes, but this time I did it with spiders. The only effect that has in spots, for instance, I haven't done the Chuanzel, the quest that Kelselmil gives you, where you have to kill the spider down there. And there's a couple other ones like the Shore Stone quest, the Red Belly Mine, that affects those. But so I just chose sort of not to do those. But anyway, there's some spiders in Dim Hollow Crypt that I basically just waltzed by. But eventually you get to this big area with lots of arches and things, and there's sort of an arena, I guess you could call it. And you have to kill off a couple of conspiratorial vampires down there that are the usual sort of political bickering that the vampires seem to do more than anybody else. And you solve a puzzle of purple flames, and a thing, sort of a monolith, rises up out of the floor, and out comes Serana. And that's how you meet her and learn about her history, and that she's carrying an Elder Scroll, and she tells you that she needs to get to her family home at Castle Volkihar, and that's where you can branch the Dawn Guard, whether you want to stay as a Dawn Guard or become a vampire. So that is Awakening.
What? How'd you do with the pushing the pillars around in the purple light?
Oh, I don't know. I've done that so many times I barely even think about it.
This is
Push
only my
this way,
second
push
time
that
trying
way.
it, yeah.
It's like, just.
This is only my second time trying it. It took me,
Yeah.
just a couple seconds of looking around, being like, okay, what is it asking me to do here? And then,
Yeah. I just sort of run around and push things until it all connects.
Well, after you enter the dim hollow cavern, you push the pillars so that they touch the end of the purple light, and their path, I guess, is the only secret there.
Yeah. Yep. Boy, everybody's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
So there was a word wall in there. Did anyone grab that word? Has anyone I guess, Colin, did you and Michael open up dragons and everything?
Yeah, because I just fought 2, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Drain vitality, I think it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is, yeah. I've actually chosen, I don't know how I'm going to handle this, but I haven't I'm not doing any dragon stuff or shouts. I have eschewed all the walls that I've come across so far, and now I'm wondering, I don't know, because I don't know how I'm going to play this all out at the very end, whether she's going to eventually cure herself or not, and then go on to other things. Then I'll have to come back and grab all the walls, or whether I can do the Dragon Quest without any shouts at all later on in the game. So,
my only thing with that is that they make you clear There's a couple of things they make you do with shouts, right? They make you clear the mist to get up to the top.
Oh yeah, you have to have the clear sky.
Throughout of the world.
That's true. Clear skies, yeah, you'd have to have that.
You don't really need it. If you got enough frost, if you got enough frost resistance, you can make it up there.
You can run through. Sweet.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
Yeah, and once you're up there once, you can fast travel to it again,
true.
right? So it doesn't. Yes, that's a good point. Good. Thank you, Colin.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's true. If you have the frost resistance, so.
Yeah.
The only thing is Dragon Rend.
Yeah, that's true. You got to have Dragon Rend. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to fly the stupid dragon out there.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything to add with Awakening? Did you fight some gargoyles there maybe at the end?
Yeah, that gargoyle, or there's 2 of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
They kicked my butt a couple times.
Yeah, they always get me.
Everything kicked my butt in that cave. I hadn't played Gennara's character in about 3 weeks before I hopped straight into doing bloody Dawn Guard and then Awakening, and walked into that cave and got my ass handed to me all over the cave. I died like 4 times just for the 2 standing outside.
Oh wow!
Not the 2, well, not outside, but at that where they open up that gate, right in there.
Yeah.
With the Death Hound and
Yeah. Well, those died pretty easily, and nobody told me, but the was it the Kind's Peace shout, and was it the command? I think it's the command animal or something like that. Whatever it is that commands animals to stop attacking you, works on vampires.
Oh, does it?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Vampires are animals, huh?
That's what it's got classed as in the sky. I don't know whether it is intentional or whether it's a glitch, but I was wearing the amulets of Kinnereth. If you're wearing, and they're like put your character in the same sort of situation as if it done the shout.
Huh.
So the vampires wouldn't actually attack me.
Wow.
Like the animals wouldn't. So I had to take the amulets off and throw them in the horse because I had one on, and sometimes the animals wouldn't attack me, but they would attack Cicero. So I had to give him one as well.
Okay.
So I had to take both of those off and chuck them on the horse, and then go back in and then do the fight.
That's really cool.
I don't think I've used that amulet very much. I mean, I've picked it up, but...
Oh no, mine's a modded version.
Oh, okay.
The Kinnereth one, I think, gives you like more stamina or something.
Yeah.
In the vanilla game or something like that, something crappy.
Who needs more stamina? Come on.
Are you using all the unofficial patches, Colin? I assume you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not something that was patched out. That's interesting. I wonder. I guess it's supposed to be that way. Huh. I'll have to check that out.
There is a mod that fixes it. I found it on Nexus. Yeah, you just download it, and it negates the vampires. It changes their faction or something like that, so they don't attack you anyway.
Yeah.
If you use the shout and an animal, so an animal won't attack you, but a vampire still will.
Yeah. Huh.
What else was I gonna say? Yeah, no, they kicked my butt up and down that place just all day long. I got one-shotted by a Druid death over Lord Elder Hero something or other.
Yeah.
There's a few things in parentheses. It was a whole thing. And he one-shotted me with a bow and arrow, the bastard.
You know you're in trouble when the title is longer than 4 words long.
That's right, yeah. You can't. It takes too long to read it. He'll kill you before you finish reading the title.
Okay, who are you? Oh.
Yeah.
No, but I loved that. I later found out that I was on legendary settings, and I went, well, if I survive, I got through it, and I got halfway through it, and then I was like, I thought I was on last time, and I checked it, I was like, I wasn't. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll leave it as legendary and carry on, see how it goes. I got that far, so I carried on going. But what is the last two guy? What's the last guy's name? That's talking in the monolith room.
Oh yeah, gosh.
I like listening. I was like, because had to reload like 3 times because I died like 4 or 5 times. I listened to the same speech again and again.
Yeah, he talks to that vigilant right before they kill him or something, and
yeah, he was saying like, the vigilant, I die, and he goes, oh, I believe you, and then kills him. He goes, oh, no, I believe you. I'm not saying that you're a liar. So here, I'll just break your neck. But it's his political machinations that was of interest, where he's saying like, the people above him are going to have to move aside, and he's going to move up, and he's going to be the number 2, and you're like, oh, dude, what are you, like 500 years old? Give it a rest.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It never seems to end. They're constantly bickering in Castle Volkihar too.
Never nonstop. Yeah. When you play as a vampire, the stuff that goes on in there is just like it's like everybody is angry at everybody else.
Yeah.
Nobody's. Isran is like a dick on the other side, but when you go into the castle, everybody is like conniving against the other person. There's like no one who's like really on board.
I usually think of vampires as totally congenial, very nice to get along with people.
Yeah, that's right.
So, what are up with the death hounds? Can you do something with their collars that I don't know about?
I don't think so. I've never found anything.
Why am I collecting their collars?
Sell them.
You're a sicko. You're weird.
I didn't know if there was some point to them or not.
Yeah.
I thought there was in the beginning, and I started collecting them. And,
I thought that embalming tools had a value when I first started playing the game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this must do something.
Oh, this roll of paper will come in useful.
Well, that's like when you first start if you played Oblivion or something, you start collecting hammers, and then you realize they're totally worthless.
Yeah. Because in Oblivion, you need hammers.
Yeah.
Now you're grabbing hammers, and you're like, oh.
I don't seem to need this.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
3 pounds.
Yeah, that's just the worst thing about mods, is because a mod will have a fantastic idea, and he goes, I'll know what I'll do. I'll make this thing that will no one will ever need ever in the game. I'll make that the biggest thing he's going to need in this effing mud. And you go running across every single bloody Drogar ruin trying to find bloody linen wraps. Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Effing things.
You have to make like a sailboat or something, so you need all the linen wraps in Skyrim.
No, they're often used for modded armor. A lot of linen wraps for modded armor and stuff, yeah. And rolls of paper and various other things.
Yeah,
The only time I can recall a roll of paper being useful is making that rubbing for
that's
of the Falmer language or whatever it was.
And that was so confusing the first time I did it because you used you didn't use paper or charcoal for anything else.
Nothing
I know.
else.
And I'm like, what do I have to do here?
And then the room behind you, it's like just loaded full of inkwells and charcoal and paper.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like, now all of a sudden it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's funny because I had been carrying a roll of paper and a charcoal stick with me when I first did that quest. I thought, finally,
Yes,
I can use these for. So I guess I didn't even realize there was stuff behind me in the room behind me. I said, oh yeah, awesome, So.
You're one of those people who carry an umbrella when it's not raining, aren't you, Victor?
I keep one in my car. Yes, Colin.
Always has to be well prepared.
And a raincoat. And galoshes, too.
Wow,
a rain
that's
jar.
overkill.
Yep.
So, Michael, how did we do with the Black Star?
So that was the Azura quest.
Yes. So we're going to launch into our Daedric portion of the show here, ladies and gentlemen. And the Daedric quest will be the Black Star, Taste of Death, and the Daedra's Best Friend.
So that one, I forget exactly how it starts. You're talking to somebody at the college, I believe, right? And then you go meet, what's his name, at in Winterhold in the bar.
I had an innkeeper tell me to go visit the Shrine of Azura, I believe.
Oh, really? It's probably Radiant where you can get it. I'm not positive. But there's also two people you can... Once you get up to the Azura Shrine, what's her name's up there, and you have to go get the star from... Where's it located?
From Colin's house, right?
You're not allowed
don't you live near there, Colin?
Yes, I do. Right next door. Stone's throw away from that. It's like Inalta, or Inalta's Deep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Deep, yeah.
That's the one with all the water. Yeah. Where there's the skeleton when you walk in and all the water.
Yeah.
But it's actually one of the best looking dungeons in the game.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's pretty distinct.
The water definitely drags the drags the graphics down a bit if you're playing on the console.
Yeah.
I find it slows the frame rate down quite a bit. But okay. Oh yeah, and it's Nellikar and what's the other person's name? Nellikar is the guy at Winterhold. Yeah, and I still don't remember her name.
What her name is? I believe Arania Linnet, Lienith.
Yeah, she's just hanging out.
Leonith, something like that.
Up at the shrine.
Yeah, she's praying and stuff.
Yeah.
But Nellikar's just hanging out at this inn, and everyone's sort of like half scared of him or something. Does he have something to do with the college? You know how everyone hates the college there.
Yep. Yeah, he's like an outcast from the college, right?
Yeah.
I love it when you walk in and he's talking to the keeper, the innkeeper, and he goes, "Did you happen to hear any explosions?" No.
Was there something funny, funny smell or something too? Or something like that?
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, don't worry about it. As long as you do that, no, that's fine. Everything's fine. Just don't breathe in too deep or something."
Yeah. Let's see.
So after you speak with Nellikar, Michael sent you off to the shrine.
Yeah.
And then she sent you down to
Inalta's Deep. Yeah.
How did you find the dungeon?
You
You said it was pretty cool. Was it tough? Who do we find there?
There's a
What's
lot of
going on?
necromancers and stuff there. There's that one room where you get into the end there. What is it? All the skeletons pop up, and there's 2 necromancers. It wasn't overly tough because necromancers don't wear armor, and if you're an archer, they're pretty easy to pick
Get
off.
them from a distance.
Yeah. The benefit of going against mages as an archer because they're not ready and they have no armor going, so they die pretty easily. So, so you gotta proceed to the end, get through the necromancers, and then you have to kill what's his name, Malin Baron or something like that.
Yes, very good. That is. And
yep.
why do you have to kill him? What does he have to do with this black star? What is this artifact, the black star, and what does Malin Varen have to do with it? What is going on there?
Well, it's a perpetually filling soul gem, basically.
Very nice, yeah.
Kind
That
of.
sounds like a useful item to me.
Yeah. I've never actually used it, to be honest.
No, neither have I. I think I used it once or twice and then got bored, and that's too much pain in the butt.
Yeah, I put it on something once, but that was it, and I don't think I've ever used it any other time.
Yeah.
So there
This
is
is
that.
one artifact that I collect in every playthrough.
I collect it, I just never use it.
I give it to my follower with a soul trap weapon,
Oh, okay.
and
That's
they
smart.
just fill it constantly for me. I use it for enchanting, and then give it back to them, and just keep the cycle, just keep handing it back and forth as I'm using it for enchanting and stuff. So
That's a good
Who
idea.
did you, Michael? Who did you go back to?
I went back to what's her name at the statue.
Aha.
In the past, I've done it where I've gone to him, but this time I went to her, and
okay, so tell us about that, because I always go to him. So tell us what happens when you go to her.
it feels a lot sketchier when you go to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like, oh yeah, no, we'll take your soul.
I'm going to partially soul trap you. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well,
Well,
that would be fun.
If you go back to her, it's I think you have a conversation with Zora, right?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like when you go, kind of like with Dawnbreaker, where you don't fly up in the air, but you get a conversation with a statue. So you feel a little better because it's at least a Zora and not some guy in a bar telling you he's going to soul trap you. So there's that positive.
Hey, dude, close your eyes. It's going to be so cool.
I'm sure I can get you out of there. This is really not a problem. I'm sure I can.
But the only benefit of going to Nethercar is it becomes a black soul gem.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is real handy if you're going to use it for enchanting.
Yeah. Then you
Enchanting items, yeah.
because then whoever you kill, you can entrap it. So that is the benefit of going to him.
And it's good for getting rid of vampirism if you're a member of the Dawn Guard, too.
Oh, really?
You have to have a loaded black soul gem, right, to go
Oh, yeah. That's
to
right.
go get rid of your vampirism from Homeboy up in Morthal.
Yeah.
Not
Valiant.
Is it Valiant?
Valiant, yeah. Yeah, actually, and I mean, I took the Black Star this time too, but I've had Aranea as a follower, and she's really good, actually. She's a
Really?
damn good follower, yeah. She's a powerful mage.
It seems like she would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I took her back to Tel Nelta.
Oh, cool.
She's going to love it there. Live in a mushroom.
I took her to Falskar with me on one playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Her, Aranea and Uthgard.
So you guys were saying that you have to have your soul partially trapped. What's going on here? Why are we doing that? We're going inside of this soul gem. Who are we going to find in there?
Oh, you got to get that Malian Baron guy out of there.
Why was he in there?
I forget. He's an
He
asshole.
wanted to be immortal, so he trapped his own soul, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
And I have here that he used to be associated with the college
Yep.
at one point, but was doing experimentation on trying to preserve souls for immortality purposes and accidentally killed one of the students. So he was cast out of the college
I think. Well, the implication was that it wasn't necessarily accidental.
He did it on purpose. You know?
Yeah. Like, that's at least isn't that what
For
Nelacar
research
says?
sake,
When,
I believe so. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
And he stole her soul and started to use that as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
he's a class act. He's a good guy.
Yes.
Basically, is what they're saying.
And he's got a couple of Dremora down there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I counted 3, I believe, maybe just 2.
I think
it felt like 3 at least.
Yeah. But you have to,
I took a couple of mighty arrows in with me and just threaded it right between his 2 Dremoras and whacked him in one shot.
I killed him fast too, and I killed him too fast, and I couldn't get the Daedra hearts.
Oh, okay. I didn't even try.
You gotta kill the Daedra first.
Yeah. I ran down there, and all of a sudden I'm running down there, and I'm being taken out, and I'm like, no! I want no! Oh! It's like when you get Dawnbreaker, and then you take it, and you forgot to get everything else in the room.
Oh, yeah, collect
sucks
all
you out
of it.
immediately.
Yeah.
And then you're like flying in the air, like, no, I can't go back now.
My treasure.
That's about 1,000 gold in there, I think, isn't it? Something like that.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Was it? I didn't get killed by Varen. It was a real easy fight because they're all magic, and she's basically magic resistant now because she's so high leveled. But I did get taken out by a mage with a bow and arrow.
Oh, God.
Right? You know when you're coming across and you get to that drawbridge area where you got the arc mage. Basically it is an arc mage. I think that's what arc necromancer.
Yep.
You have them leveled. Well, she's like standing on the opposite side of the drawbridge. I get over there, come around there. She's all dressed in robes with a bow and arrow. I was like, no, he's a mage with a bow and arrow. So I jumped into the lake and swam over, and then she raised up a bandit marauder, and those guys are pretty tough.
No.
And while I was trying to kill her, she kept on using healing magic, and I think it was like cure wounds, so it was like 100 points she was healing every time.
Wow.
He kept on getting back up, and I didn't realize he was behind me, and then he just gave me a solid whack with a 2-handed weapon and then killed me. I didn't enjoy that, so we went back in. Wiped everything out. But, no, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy that quest. It's good. So especially with mages, because usually you go in there, so maybe sneaking or something, but actually just every time now, just running in with the sword and spell in one hand and the sword in the other. As all Mr. Ball tells us, and started killing everything. It was lovely.
I've been finding it very fun to do the destruction spell in one hand and the shield in the other. I've never played like that before.
That's a good way.
It's really cool. I was assuming that a combination of block and destruction would just be, I don't know, switching back and forth between the two and annoying and do that. But they actually work really well together. It's a good combination of attack methods. Am I correct in assuming that the shields only block like regular weapons, and that what are those magic shields called? I forget what they're even called.
Oh, the wards.
The wards, and those only block magic. It's not like you can cast a ward to prevent an archer from shooting arrows at you, correct?
No, but it does increase your armor. The wards increase your armor, so you could go. But there is a perk for the block that grants you 50% against elemental damage. Up the left-hand side of the block, you'll get 50%. Once you're blocking, you get 50% resistance to frost, fire, and shock.
Oh, cool.
Is there a vanilla perk for arrows too for the shield?
Yeah, there is.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Blocks all arrows.
Yeah.
If it hits the shields, it blocks all damage.
Yeah, once I get a little bit higher in block, I'll have to invest some of those perks in there, since block is one of my skills.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I've never played as such a big block character, but it'll be sweet, I think.
There's a nice. Go ahead,
go
Colin.
ahead.
Sorry. No, that's right. Okay. there's a since I'm pretty high level in alteration, that's one of my skills. There's a nice perk in the Spurg perk overhaul that I'm using called Mage Armor. So once you've cast any one of the oak flesh or ebony flesh or whatever, it's permanent.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, so that's nice.
And
There's,
those perks work well when you don't have any armor on. They work like a ×3 or something. There's a perk for that in the tree, in the alteration tree, right?
Yeah, I think
At least
so.
in the vanilla game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a magic spell in our mods as well. In the new one, the one we're doing for the modcast, and it's a summonable shield.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like
I've
a
used
bound
that a couple
sword.
times.
It's a bound shield, and
Yeah.
Cool.
not only is it a normal shield that blocks a sword, it also acts as a ward as well, so it blocks magic
There you
automatically.
go.
That's
Yeah.
That's the
I
good
thought
stuff.
I hadn't done looked into it to see whether that was Apocalypse or Lost Grimoire, because I'm running both of them with Doria. So, but yeah, I've used that a couple times. It's nice. But she's an archer anyway, so she doesn't really use a shield very much. So.
Yeah, that's a difficult combination to do, is archery and blocking together.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Gotta have your quick keys set up or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think this is a wonderful spot to say goodbye for this week. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Skyrim Addict Podcast Roundtable for this week. And please join us next week when we will discuss the Daedric Quest, A Taste of Death, and a Daedra's Best Friend. So thanks a lot for listening in, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
I'll take a break for a couple minutes here.
All right.
No worries, mate.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to sit up.
Michael's too comfortable.
Yes. Well, I wanted to move the mic all the way back to the couch, but I needed to be able to get to the laptop, so there was that.
Damn you.
Uh,
You need a portable laptop. That's what you need, Michael.
Well, it's hooked into the mixer is the problem. If I didn't have it hooked up to the mixer, this would not be an issue.
Have you been playing around with the Fallout shelter?
Just a little bit. I haven't gotten a lot into that, actually. I think I'm going to start over a new one because I think I screwed up.
I had to start over a new one as well. Everybody started dying of radiation. I had absolutely no idea where the radiation was coming from. I can only think that it was from the front door, because I didn't know the front door could be upgraded, but it can.
Oh, I did not know that.
So that's what I'm thinking, is that so now I've started over, and it seems to be going all well, but it does take over your fucking life a little bit.
Yeah, I remember when Tiny Tower first came out, I was playing that a crap ton, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that same thing again. But yeah, I have to start over because I just messed up allocating things and putting people in places, and I'm like, I need to start over and get them in the right places.
Yeah, I was going great guns at one point. I had the whole place to 99% happiness, and I was like, if you get two people together, you know how they can make a baby.
Yeah.
That gives them like 100% happiness.
Wow.
Okay, so I was like, all right, I can get this to 100%. I can get this to 100%. I got the last two people to go in, and they were there. They were having fun. They were dancing with each other, giving each other the cheesiest pickup lines in the whole world. And then I got a giant rad roach attack and killed 5 people.
Oh my god!
5 people. It was like a massive rad roach attack that just went everywhere. It started in one room, which nobody was in, and I couldn't get the people there fast enough. So it just spread to like 5 rooms and killed like 5 people before we finally got under control. I was like,
man.
son of a bitch.
Of course.
So...
Yeah, I had scattered things happening, and then I didn't have enough stuff, and it was just, I was borderline water and electricity, and yeah, there's a mess.
Yeah, I think it takes a while to get used to, because of I just had to kill my first game, but it also helped with the lunch boxes you get.
Oh yeah, yep.
I got a gold tier character.
Oh.
He's named. It's Abraham Washington, I think his name is.
Oh Jesus, Abraham Washington. That's awesome.
He's in Fallout 3, I think.
Oh, is he?
He's one of the characters from Fallout 3, and he's like he was in the card. He was level 27, and like all my guys were all like level 9.
Wow.
And he's got like things off the chart. Basically, he can walk into any room and be the king of that room.
Oh, okay. He can go to any of the things, and yeah.
And increase production almost instantaneously. And but I just loaded him up with armor and the best weapon I had, and sent him out into the wasteland. And I leave him out there for like 24 hours, and he comes back with a shit ton of stuff, or like almost dead.
Oh man.
So I gotta check. Actually, I better go check on him now because he's probably dead.
He's probably dead.
What are you talking about there?
Fallout Shelter.
Oh yeah, you've played a lot of it. I haven't played much of it, but it seems like a lot of fun.
No, it is. It's, I was telling Michael that I started off and everybody like, halfway through started dying of radiation, and I had no idea where the radiation was coming from. I mean, it was everybody. Usually it's like, if you only go outside, and I couldn't tell where it was coming from, so I had to scrub the entire thing and just delete the whole thing and then start again. But it seems to be going good at the moment.
Does it continue in the background when you're not playing it?
Certain things does,
okay.
other things don't.
Mine must be all dead by now then.
No, because that will hold off. The only thing that carries on is if you put somebody into a training room, the hours will they'll store up, but you won't get any attacks or people won't starve while the app is shut down.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah, they'll produce like one whatever time worth of stuff, 1 second worth of stuff, whatever it is, energy or whatever.
Yeah. So once they've made or sort of like finished making that stuff, they'll all stop working until you collect it. And it kind of freezes time, and then you go back in, and then you collect all the electricity and all the water and everything like that, and then it goes into your stores, and then they carry on working.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that seems to continue is, as I said, the guys you put in the training room to increase their strength or increase their agility, or the guys you send out into the wasteland to collect stuff.
Ah, okay.
That's the only thing that continues.
Did anybody pick up anything good in the Steam sales this year?
I actually grabbed Dishonored for $4.99.
Nice, yeah.
And I picked up New Vegas on there to play on the PC once I'm done.
Yeah.
Was that you? I thought that was Andrew. Oh no, he bought the physical copy, didn't he?
He bought the physical copy. Yeah. I bought 3 for the 360, but I figured I'd grab when I saw New Vegas was on sale for the PC. I figured I'd grab it on there.
Yeah, they put the whole Fallout franchise on sale there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I was far enough in where I was like, I don't really want to switch over because I'm already far enough in, and I don't want to start back at the beginning. Right now, I'm wandering around some hotel killing super mutants. So after I just found Galaxy News Radio. So that's kind of where I'm at in 3 right now.
Hey, just a thought, but since you got New Vegas for the PC, give that a shot with Mod Organizer. Then you don't have to mess with your Skyrim or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna do it with Oblivion also, since there's no Steam Workshop for Oblivion, I don't think.
I don't know if Mod Organizer works for Oblivion.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll try it for New Vegas then.
Yeah. You just install it right into the New Vegas folder under your Steam Common, and it'll automatically you do that for any game that it works for, and it automatically makes itself into Mod Organizer for that game as long as you install it into the games directory. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, I'll try it for that then. I don't know how much more I have left in 3 until I'm like at the end of whatever main story there is.
Yeah. Cool.
If I ever stop wandering around random buildings and get to where I'm
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing maybe a New Vegas playthrough I'm putting it on the
Oh yeah.
the full feed. Would that be okay?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Definitely. I'm probably once I get the whole what the hell is that? The thing I was getting done. Once I get the whole, I don't remember what it's called. The thing for the whatever, the branding, whatever the hell that's called. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
ASA podcasting.
Yeah, the thing for it. What's
The
that?
logo.
Logo. I could not remember the word logo. I do not know why I could not think of the word logo.
Logo is the first thing to go, Michael. It's just one of those things.
I'm 42, going on 137. Once that's done, I'll probably just change the name of the channel. That way, whatever goes up there will be part of it. Speaking of channels, so I got roped into starting a channel with Connor.
Minecraft, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna do a Minecraft channel. I just started a separate channel, and he's gonna host it. We did some practice runs today. We recorded a couple practice videos today. I'm like, we'll do a couple. You can watch them. You can see how you did, and then go from there. And I'm like, all right.
Is it like doing audio commentary, play along stuff on top of it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for him.
We're playing just survival mode, just going through it. Yeah. Generally, we'll argue less that way. Usually it turns into, why aren't you getting the wood? Why aren't you getting the wool? Why aren't you... So there is always that. But
Yeah, we'll be sure to subscribe.
oh, it'll be interesting.
I've never actually seen Minecraft being played.
You haven't watched any
neither have
Gophers
I.
before?
No, that's all his live feed stuff, isn't it? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't watch it. No.
Yeah, some of the modded versions are amazing. Some of the stuff they do.
Yeah, I've watched my oldest with some of his Minecraft stuff is pretty complex.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the console versions you can only do so much, but the PC version, yeah, you have unlimited, possibilities. So, but yeah, we're just doing console right now until he gets into it a little bit more of exactly how to do things. So, I want to see if I can find him a class for the summer to learn some of the modding and stuff like that to get him a little more into it.
it'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many of them. It's hard finding one that's quality, and isn't just having kids sit around playing and not really teaching them anything,
Yeah.
So, kind of going through that now, trying to figure out where to go.
Cool. All right, are we good to launch into part 2 here?
Sure. Let me restart GarageBand again for another episode.
Okay.
Oops.
I'm having some weird trouble with the Hangout, so if I crash it out again, I'll be back. I don't know. It keeps freezing on me and then coming back, and then every once in a while it'll freeze and just go away. So.
Uh-oh.
I haven't lost your audio at all during that, so.
Oh, okay.
Neither have I.
I don't know. I checked my my bandwidth today before I came on, and I had like a solid 80 megabits. So I don't know. It's not nothing to do with that. So I don't know.
Yeah, Hangouts was being wonky with me for the last couple weeks, and this is the first time that it's actually seemed fairly smooth the whole
Of course.
duration of the show. Just passed my problems on to Victor. So. All right. Well, you got it started there, Michael.
Yep, I'm recording, so we're good.
Okay. Welcome back to the first episode of Season 4 of the Skyrim Addict Podcast Roundtable for the Dawnguard playthrough. Dawnguard and Daedric Quests. And speaking of Daedric Quest, we will finish out this week's show with 2 Daedric Quest. Number 4 on the list is The Taste of Death. And quest number 5 on our list is a Daedra's best friend. So those are the quests we'll be getting into this episode, and I would like to say hello to our participants again. I am joined by Michael. Hello.
Hello. Oh, by the way, this is the second audio episode. Shh,
don't tell anyone. Victor, again.
Hey,
how are you? And Colin. Hello, Colin.
Hello.
It's great to have you guys here again, and we'll go ahead and launch into some of our Daedric quests. How are your Daedric relationships going on with your character? Does your side of the Dawnguard or vampires have anything to do with how you are choosing to play your Daedric quests? What do you guys think?
A little bit. I mean, had I been a Dawnguard, I might have picked the Azura side of the last one instead of the Nelacar, instead of taking the black soul gem, and certainly I think certainly the A Taste of Death choices were influenced by my vampiric thirst. So.
Well, let's go ahead and launch into A Taste of Death, because I am sort of playing my character in, I don't know, just sort of a weird direction. I'm a member of the Dawnguard, yes. I believe that everything evil, vampires, werewolves, Daedras, they should all be taken care of course. But there's some weird side to my character, Sisyphona, who actually has maybe she's a double agent or a spy for the Daedra side. Is she a member of the Dawnguard because she dislikes all that stuff, or is she a member of Dawnguard to get information? I'm not quite sure what's going on here yet with my character, but we'll get into the Taste of Death here a little bit. If you go to the Markarth Hall of the Dead, you speak with Klepper, who he's the guy in the Silverblood Inn. Is that correct? I believe. Mm-hmm. Then you'll get some information about the bodies in the Hall of Dead have been chewed on. It looks like some of their bones have been snapped, and people trying to get at the marrow inside, and all sorts of just grossness that you don't want to deal with in your Hall of Dead. These are problems that you do not want to arise when you run a cemetery. So if you go into the Hall of the Dead, you'll hear this crazy sort of like weird, ominous voice coming overhead and saying all sorts of weird things to you, and you're just like, oh man, I'm getting a really creepy feeling right now. But eventually, when you come to the end of it, you'll find someone named Aola, and she will speak with you and say that she and her clan have had to come to the Markarth Hall of the Dead to start taking their munchables on the Hall of the Dead's bodies in there, because they used to be out of Reachcliff Cave, and it used to be used for their feeding, but the dead within Reachcliff Cave have been rising from their graves, and they're a lot harder to deal with once they fight back. So she asks you if you'll go out to clear out Reachcliff Cave, and once you do, you go there and fight a bunch of Draugr, and then you put them all back out of their misery again, finally. But you'll return to Verilus, the priest of Arkay in the Hall of the Dead, who will reward you with an amulet of Arkay. Reachcliff Cave is south of Markarth, and you have to clear out the Draugr, and you are requested by Aola to bring back the priest Verilus for a little bit of a ceremony that they're thinking about doing there at the Reachcliff Cave. So let's get into the weirdness a little bit here. Victor, we were about to say something there?
No. I mean, they just wanted to have Verilus over for dinner, that's all. You know.
Yeah.
So.
They just noticed that he looked particularly...
Yeah, he was a little hungry, and you know... well, that's where you make your choices, right?
Yeah. Well, Verilus could smell something on me. He knew that I was up to no good. So he wouldn't just come with me. I threatened him. He even wouldn't come with me then. I actually had to pay him off so that he would come with me. I guess my I think my speech is basically at 0 still, so I could not convince him, so I paid him off to come with me back to Reachcliff Cave. And then you walk him to the shrine. After you've been to Reachcliff Cave once, it opens up a little side entrance so you don't have to go through the whole ruins again, so you can go into the back door. Once you show up again, Verilus mentions... or maybe someone makes the suggestion that, oh, Verilus, you look sleepy. Why don't you come over here and take a nap on the shrine? This
Under this giant spike.
Yeah, under this giant spike. That's right.
This totally normal-looking shrine. There's nothing creepy going on here. And so you convince Verilus to come with you. Have him lay down on the shrine with this horrifying spike hanging over his head. And then you get the decision of whether you will basically help Verilus and kill all the people who want to eat him now because this is, oh my gosh, a cannibal clan. Or if you want to fight off Aola and, help Verilus get out. Or you can eat poor brother Verilus. I've had a special relationship with Verilus in a lot of my past playthroughs. This is one of the things I like to do when I want to get multiple followers on my side. If you want to add your normal follower, but this is also like what you can call a quest follower. Yeah. Verilus will follow you if you leave this whole quest hanging in limbo and just don't go back to Reachcliff Cave. He'll follow you, and he'll just help you in your adventures. So that's a good tricky way to get multiple followers at once. I think Esbern has a similar relationship, too. You can... start doing the dragon quest, but if you don't want to lose Esbern, he'll just follow if you go off and do a bunch of different quests, too. I wonder if you can have both Esbern and Verilus at the same time.
That poor old man.
I was going to say, poor guy, he's old,
He's like 70?
Traipse all around Skyrim, it's just not fair.
Well-respected actor, and you're just dragging them all across.
That's right. He's dead.
Skyrim fighting bears.
He loves fighting bears. He asked for it. He really wanted to come. Hey, I paid him for his services. So, what did we all do with Verilus? Michael, what'd you do with Verilus at that point?
Ate him.
Did you eat him?
Yeah, I did.
Yes. I did as well. I don't think that I should have, or you, Michael, being members of the Dawn Guard, we should...
Well,
try to be fighting Daedric influences where we find it anywhere out in the world.
I'm an orc.
That's true.
Really, I was just eating another species. So
that's true. You're not being
really
a cannibal, are you? Yeah.
I was perfectly fine.
Well, I was being a cannibal.
Well, no, you're an elf.
Yeah, but humanoids, come on. They can't. I mean, technically, I guess it's not cannibalism.
And you're a high elf, so you think that,
everyone else is obviously below me, but...
Yeah. No, the humans are basically, just above the horse or the cow.
Yeah, the swine.
Just there for, heavy lifting and carrying
meat.
Stuff. Yes, meat. That's it.
Yeah.
Did anyone not eat him?
No, I killed him and feasted as well.
And partook as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking my relationship with the Dawn Guard, I probably should not be doing these evil things for the Daedra, but this is my thought on the matter. If I don't go out and collect these evil Daedric artifacts, then some vampire will. And, it's better to have control of these artifacts than to let our enemy be in control of these things. So I'm going out and trying to collect all of the Daedric artifacts for that matter, to keep them out of the hands of the evil vampires.
Well, I mean, I killed him and fed on him, and of course I fed on everybody else there as well.
Did you attack the party after? After you fed?
Yeah. I had to run away quickly because they got a little pissed off. But particularly I went after Lisbeth.
Yes, Lisbeth, who runs the trading shop.
Arnlife
right?
and Sons, or whatever it is.
The trading company store there in Markarth.
Yeah.
Who else is in that party? I think Banning is there, the guy who sells dogs out at the stables.
Yeah, and Hogveer or something like that, the guy who sells the bloodiest beef in the Reach.
The bloodiest beef in the Reach.
Oh,
yeah. He's pretty disgusting. I don't.
That's always my favorite.
I stay away from him whenever possible.
After I got his inside joke later on, and always came back to Mark Carth and said the bloodiest beef and I just thought that was really funny.
And he always laughs, kind of
in a maniacal way. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a creep.
Did you kill Eola?
Well, one thing, there's some funny things about Aola. I've had her as she's a powerful follower, by the way. If you later on, she's a very good follower. I even married her in one of my playthroughs. But
attaboy. That was a tasty wedding kiss, huh?
Well, I was a Khajiit, so
okay.
It was a chaste marriage. But she is even with the follower mods. If she asks you if you want her to accompany you when you first go into the cave, so she becomes a follower, right?
Yeah.
But she still can be killed. So which is kind of weird.
That is unusual.
But because you'd think she'd be essential. So I don't know why that happens, but
because she's I think they've had it up so. Because somebody else posted it in the Facebook, is that she's very, very touchy. You hit her once accidentally with a sword or something, she turns on you instantly.
That's true. Yeah.
Because it's such a it's such a strained quest with like the vat cannibalism that you're thinking that the minute you hit her, she's going to think that you're attacking her because you're going to try and kill her straight away. I think that's why they went with it that way.
Huh, makes sense.
I definitely had to reload a couple times after hitting her from a distance with shock spells and stuff. She's very touchy, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you kill her, you failed the quest as well, don't you?
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. I had to reload once because I wanted to continue the quest. I have killed her in the past deliberately at the end there, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's very touchy. She's very killable.
So, what is the relationship between the choice of having eaten Verilus and completing the quest there, and how the rest of these characters that you find at the meal will treat you when you see them again outside of the cave? How does that relationship work?
They just say keep quiet about her or something like that. When you talk to them into the shop and things like that, you go, oh, hey, it's you.
Well, they just put their fingers on the sides of their nose.
Yeah.
Well, the next time I walked back into the Arnleaf and Sons Trading Company, Lisbeth immediately attacked me. So I'm not sure exactly what I did on the way out, but I must have attacked someone that I wasn't supposed to. Because the same thing happened with Banning when I saw him near the stables. So he's dead now too. So even if I did accidentally somehow dismiss Vigilance to go home or something, I wouldn't be able to get Vigilance back again because I killed Banning. So hopefully I didn't bug out my animals, but everyone was attacking me who was in that end scene at the cave at the cannibal party.
Huh.
So I'm not sure what I did, if I accidentally attacked Aola or maybe accidentally hit someone with a spark spell on my way out. Yeah.
That's possible.
I could have done that. But so I fed on good old what's-his-name, Verilus, and when you do that, you are rewarded with a Daedric artifact. What did we get, Colin?
Well, we got the Ring of Nymeria, which gives you a boost to, in my game anyway, I don't know whether it's the same in yours, a boost to my stamina stats. And when you consume human flesh, or you consume a body, it increases your stamina and health regeneration, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't give plus 50 to health when you feed, something like that. Or is that just vanilla? I don't remember what. Yeah, I know my health goes up a little bit whenever.
Yeah, in the vanilla game, you get the ring gives you 50 points of stamina, and when you're wearing the ring, when you go to search a corpse, it gives you then the option to feed on the corpse, and if you feed on the corpse, you get plus 50 points of health and plus 50% health regeneration, like Colin mentioned. So
yeah.
And you get the guards. Anytime you walk past a guard, they make mentions of your bad breath from then on. You had that yet? They said, What have you been eating? Ugh.
That's right. Funny.
No, I haven't had that. I haven't worn it. It's sitting in a box somewhere.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been wearing it all along. But I noticed something in that I'd never noticed before on the UASP. It says something about if you're wearing the Ring of Namira and receive the cursed ring of Hircine from Sinding, you will forever be able to feed off of bodies and obtain plus 50 health and plus 50 health regeneration.
What's that mean forever without the rings then, or?
I guess
And
that's what that means.
that's Sending is the werewolf hunter.
Yeah, I think we're doing
guy,
that next episode, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
He's in Falkreath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falkreath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the Daedric quests.
So if you can somehow glitch it to get
I don't think it's a glitch. I think it's part of
both
the whole.
rings.
It doesn't say anything about because the UASP is fully aware of all the unofficial patches, and it doesn't say this has been patched out or anything. So.
Okay. And with that one in particular, it is possible to get both the ring of Hircine and the what is it? The werewolf's skin armor.
Savior's hide.
Yeah, Savior's hide. Yeah.
The Savior's hide. There is a way possible to get both of those artifacts. I'm not sure if both of them count towards your what is the Daedric accomplishment thing called?
Oh,
You get all the
Where you get
artifacts.
all 15 artifacts, I forget.
Oblivion Walker.
Oblivion Walker.
yes.
Yeah, in order to get this. Well, we can go ahead and get into the next quest if you like, and you'll find out that I did it incorrectly, so I have already excluded myself from being able to get the Oblivion Walker.
Oh, noes.
You should still be able to get it
You think?
if you do Thieves Guild.
Oh, if I get the key, the skeleton key?
Yeah.
Will that count? Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah. Because that can't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and roll into it. Who would like to talk with our good puppy dog friend, Barbas?
Hey there.
Pant, 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 pant.
Oh, yeah. Victor, are you using your quiet doggy or whatever?
Hush doggy. Yes,
Hush
I
doggy.
am. Yes.
Oh, man.
Good mod to keep your dog, because they do bark pretty incessantly.
Oh, it's annoying, and well, not only that, but they bark and they don't seem to alert anybody when you're in a cave or something like that.
Yeah,
which makes no sense at all. So
They should be able to hear the dog bark.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm using my little mod.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Colin, would you like to take us into Falkreath? So we can talk to our Daedra's best friend.
Yep. Let's see. A few thousand hours ago, I was wandering through Falkreath, and as you approach the gates of Falkreath, the guard will approach you and ask you if you have seen any dogs out on the road. And you get a few options. Some like I've seen plenty of wolves, but no dogs. I've seen loads of dogs. I've seen packs of dogs and all that sort of stuff. And he goes and he tells you that the blacksmith is looking for a dog and he's offering a reward for it. But hey, while you're here, outsider, watch your step while you're here, outsider, and something like that. So then you go in and then you speak to Lod, the blacksmith. And he tells you that he's looking for a fierce hound to keep him company late at night when he gets bored, somebody to talk to, and he can't get out for some reason. He goes, "Would you look?" He'll give you some gold if you go out and look for the dog. So then you go outside, and then there's a nice map marker telling you where the dog is, and it turns out to be some mutt from the Bronx.
God, awful. It's like the Jar Jar Binks of Skyrim.
I imagine this sort of like New York accent on Barbas being similar to what Dick Van Dyke's British accent is to
The
British
Cockney.
people.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Along the same lines of authenticity there.
Yeah. Right. Good point.
Yeah, that is pretty famous old just penis van lesbian. So then afterwards you head off. he informs you that he's not on the best of terms with what's his name? I've forgotten the Daedric Prince's name.
Clavicus Vile.
Yeah,
Clavicus.
Clavicus.
That's it. He's not on the best of terms with his master. They've had a bit of a falling out. I'm arguing about who gets the futon or something. He says that if he can settle the argument, come back, he'll make sure that you're rewarded. Just don't trust anything that Clavicus offers you, seeing as he's the Prince of Witches and he's a Daedric Prince, and just don't trust him. So you say, oh, you're a lost little doggy, and he's like, oh, very funny. But he knows all about you, and you're sort of like Dragonborn and blah, blah, blah. So you head off to some random cave, and you go into this...
Rock Barrow.
Rock Barrow. Which is infested with vampires, because that's the closest shrine to Clavicus Vile, and he's so weak, that's the only place he can manifest himself.
No, you're not Rhymerock Barrow, that's Heimar's Shame.
Oh, yeah, Heimar's Shame, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're not there yet, sorry.
Yeah, you got to go there and then back. Yeah.
Alright, so go to Heimar's Shame first.
Yep, and that's full of vampires who are worshipping her scene because they want him to end their curse. And then you show up with Barbas and kill them all. Which, is kind of fortuitous. But that's
that's
real
a good way
tough.
of ending their curse, as Clavicus will show us.
Yeah. So you go through there, and I had a pretty easy-ish time because with my sneak, I've got all the perks in sneak. If somebody's not looking at me, even running, they can't detect me. So I come up behind them. So I was running through there, and then there was the guy that sits in the chair looking at the campfire. And I ran off there's like an overhang, ran off the overhang, jumped down, landed behind him, and then like instantly killed him while he was still sitting there eating his bloody porridge. It was a lot of fun. And but there's an intense fight because you go into the last room and there's like leveled vampires. I had a Night Master and an ancient vampire and a blooded vampire in there, I think. But Barbas is like oodles of tough. It's like the best tank in the entire game. So
that's true. He is. Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
So he just like took endless amounts of damage from the Night Master, and I was hitting him with everything, and his health was barely going down. So had to switch back to the the Flaming Skulls. Go to the old backup and take out the rest of them. And then Clavicus Vile informs you that he doesn't want to take the map back. It's just a pain in the ass. Or if you choose a different speech option, he says you could prove yourself if you want power, blah, blah, blah. There's a very powerful axe if you go and get this axe, and do me a favor, there'll be no hidden surprises, at least not for you. And you have to go off to Rhymerock Barrow to get this powerful axe called the Rueful Axe. There you meet Sebastian Lort. You kill Sebastian Lort, and then you head all the way back. And then you're given the option by Clavicus to either you get kill Barbas, and he will let you have the axe, or you can force him to say no, take Barbas back. I don't want the axe. You can keep the axe and Barbas. I don't want either of them. And then Barbas convinces him to sort of like give you a boon. And that's basically it.
What do you get if you let Barbas live?
The Mask of Clavicus Vile, which is an increase to speech or bartering. I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, speech.
I forgot to write down what it does for you there. So it's just a speech perk, and it looks really cool. That's it.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
I love it. I think it looks awesome. I should have killed Barbas. I let the poor puppy live. Or no, I should have let him live. I killed the poor dog, and I got to keep the Rueful Axe.
That Rueful Axe sucks.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
But in my playthrough, I'm going to incorporate as many of these Daedric artifacts as I can into my game. See if I can actually use them for for good. Like, we're searching out all these Daedric entities so I can have all their super powerful weapons. So even though they're not technically powerful at all, but I can then use those to fulfill our ultimate goal of demolishing the vampires threat. In
Wait a minute,
Skyrim.
what?
So
What?
Hey,
Demolishing what?
those evil vampires. So
we're just walking over
that's how I'm
here.
talking to myself. Other than how do you think Serana feels? Does she have any sort of qualms with killing a bunch of vampires?
No.
Are there different vampire factions, I guess? And like these are different warring clans, so she doesn't really have a problem with killing vampires?
Yeah, she did apologize. Sorry, but I'm sorry, but I have to do this, or something like that. She screams a few lines
Uh-huh.
every now and then she goes, "I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I had to be this way." And so, but
Yeah, she sort of explains her motivations at one point, doesn't she? Is it in the speech with Isran there when you go back to the Dawn Guard with her? I think she
I
talks
haven't taken her
about that.
there yet.
Yeah. This is after. Is it after the Soul Cairn? Maybe I don't remember. There's a long confrontation with Isran there.
That's when she goes back there, right?
Yeah.
This is all pretty new to me because I played it from the other side
Yeah.
before. So
Yeah. No, she does talk about that.
sweet.
So.
I always kind of wondered about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what she does with the when she's sort of coming into her own as a real vampire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to say that, as I mentioned earlier about the spiders, Doria has an affinity with spiders, and initially she had, I had planned on probably, taking the mask of Clavicus Vile, but on the way back through after getting the rueful axe, because there's that whole room full of spiders in there, about 2/3 of the way through Heimar's Shame, and of course we hadn't killed any of them because they were very friendly, and I stopped off and said hello, and on the way back through, Barbas decided he didn't like the spiders and killed off the giant frostbite spider, and I got pissed off, and he bought it after that.
Bad dog.
Bad dog.
You
so
get
I
the
killed-
axe.
I killed him. So I took the rueful axe.
How about you, Michael? Do you take the mask or the axe?
I took the mask. I pretty much always take the mask because the axe just isn't very good.
What is its perk? What is it enchanted with? I don't even remember.
Stamina.
Yes, it's like
Stamina.
a
And it's not
Stamina
even
suck.
It's like
No,
50
it's not-
points of stamina drain or something like that. It's nothing.
no, it's not even drain. It's just damage. Just 20 damage.
Oh,
It
is
doesn't. It's not absorb. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's modded in mine because it's 50 damage in mine. It's 50 something anyway. So
Huh.
I took it. I have some motivations for later in the game. So I actually decided I wanted the axe before I even killed off Barbas. But
Are
I
these
had good motivations for
something
killing.
you can reveal to us at this point, or something?
I don't know
you
yet.
hold on to?
I'm thinking of post Dawn Guard stuff with Doria, so I have to decide what I'm going to do. But yes,
Very nice.
yeah, so
Does anybody want to recant the Sebastian Lort story?
Oh, yeah, I was
don't-
going to ask you about Sebastian Lord. What's he doing there? I can't do it, but
yeah, I can't either. Go ahead, Colin.
There's the story on your way to like the guy you killed to get the axe.
To get
If
the
you
axe,
ask
yeah.
Barbas, you speak to Barbas and he goes, "What's with this axe?" And he goes, "Oh, that's one of Clavicus Vile's little jokes."
Oh, that's right.
Sebastian Lort was so miserable because his daughter was a worshipper of her scene, and when she became a werewolf, he couldn't bear to see his daughter take on such a bestial form. So he asked Clavicus Vile for the power to end her curse. So he gave him the rueful axe.
I don't think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, and that's Sebastian Lort, the guy you killed to get the axe.
I'm such a moron, and that never ever clicked. I guess you skim through what he's saying, and oh yeah, some guy, and then you go to Rhinerock Borough, and it's just like, oh, well, thank you for putting two and two together for me.
It's a pretty deep joke there. I know.
Yeah, well, I'm a fairly shallow person. I didn't get the deep joke.
He handed you the cure. There's also a conjuration skill book there.
Yeah.
Near Sebastian Lort. I don't really have much written down about Sebastian.
He's pretty powerful because he's got a thrall there, doesn't he? He doesn't have. It's not like an Atronach. It's actually a thrall, isn't it? I mean,
well, they call it a leveled Atronach in the USP, but yeah, it's a pretty powerful summoning.
Yeah, because it's bound there. Because mine it was a shock, and when I destroyed it, all its remains stayed there. It didn't disappear back into oblivion. So.
Huh. Yeah, that's the hardest thing to kill. Sebastian is pretty easy. He goes down pretty fast. Yeah, huh.
Again, with my sneak, he didn't hear me coming, so I was right behind him and wailing on him before he even stopped his chanting.
That's funny. Oh.
All right, anybody have anything else they'd like to get into with Daedr's best friend?
No, I'm just glad he shut up, that's all.
Yeah, you're free of the dog.
Free of that stupid accent.
If you really like followers, he is definitely strong, but
yeah, he is.
And you can like pile him on top of if you have a follower, then you add him, and then you add Esbern, and then you can go around
and then Shadowmere.
Shadowmere.
You don't want Barbas and Esbern anywhere near each other. 10 times, again and again, they're kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Hit me with a fireball, you old bastard! I'm gonna fight
Well, what do you do in the vanilla game when a couple of NPCs get aggroed against each other? Sort of wait it out?
Yeah, I just usually run away and they kind of sort it out.
That happened to me when we were up on Solstheim. Neloth and Vigilance were fighting each other time and time again in that sort of Dwemer ruin on the eastern shore of Solstheim, just north of Tal Mithrin up there, Nishardak, yeah. I had to go in and out of a room with a load screen, and then it reset, and they stopped fighting each other. Yeah.
I usually just go into the console, but I can't do that on a console. There's a reset AI command you can.
Yeah, I just went in and out of a load screen door, and it caused them to stop. I think I actually had to try it 2 or 3 times before it would actually take effect, but it eventually calmed them down.
Huh.
So not just for Daedr's best friend, but any of the quests. Anybody have any other interesting side stuff going on with their character, with your homestead, with picking out a spouse or anything like that?
Crap, I still have to get married.
I still have the same one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started looking at the optional quests also, but
poorly planned, weren't they?
Well, Bernavir doesn't work out too well at this point.
No,
but,
you have to go to the Soul Cairn for him.
Yeah.
And there was something else that you couldn't do. I don't know if you could do any of the extra quest that I assigned. I don't know if you could access any of those, could you?
Well, the 2 vampire ones are radiant, and so what happened to me, now I don't know if this is because I've gone a little bit ahead.
See you later, Victor.
Have a good one, Victor.
Have a fun on those.
So far ahead.
So far ahead, he's back in the future.
I'm going to have to insert like a TARDIS sound in that spot or something.
Did you get a good laugh out of that? I was flipping through tabs and I hit the X instead of bringing up the tab. Yeah. Sorry about that. So anyway, no, I got the wrong. I got a different radiant quest out of him. Instead of the amulets, I got the rings of something or other.
Oh, nice.
But but I didn't go any farther than that. But I've already gone a little bit past the.
Is it the Rings
Awakening.
of Blood magic?
Yeah, that's the one. I noticed that's like one of the last ones you
Yeah,
had
it
assigned,
is.
So.
I didn't try to put the extra optional quest in any sort of order. I should have actually sort of thought about it and looked at it, but
I think it's just because they're radiant. It's sort of random on whichever ones pop up. But
yeah, I didn't go to the ancient technology because I didn't want to bring Serana back yet. So
what is I don't even know what is that quest?
that's
What is
just
ancient
to
technology?
improves the crossbows.
Oh, that's where they send you on fetch quest to get
I didn't want to
items to improve your crossbows.
Exactly. I didn't want to bring her back to Fort Dawnguard yet, since I hadn't gone to Volcar yet.
Do you have to bring her back in order to do that?
Yeah, because she's traipsing around with you.
Oh, okay.
At what point can you decide to leave her?
You do. Do you leave her at the castle next?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't had her with me at all. I just left her there.
Okay.
Well, I haven't been to the castle yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That's the next quest.
Is that in Bloodline?
That's Bloodline, yeah.
Bloodline, yeah. No, I went straight there because I wanted to become the vampire, so I just.
Plus, you can't do the ancient technology quests until you get Serene Gerard anyway. So.
Oh yeah, you have to add the people too. Yeah, that is true.
This like a little person fetch quest, right, for the Dawnguard side?
Yep.
Yeah. Once you drop her off, you come back and bolstering the ranks. That is, I think.
Isran will say, "Oh, I need these two people if we're going to really get the Dawnguard back to full power or whatever."
Right. There's the Smith guy, and then there's three of them. There's the Smith, there's Serene, and there's Florentius or whatever it is that they decide they want.
Yeah, I remember.
Florentius is a little later on, though.
Is he part of an actual Dawnguard?
Yeah, he
or the quest
basically.
line?
Was it what's his name? Isran sends you to get Serene and Bob, but when you get those and they come back and then you go off and do another mission, when you come back again, then they say we need reinforcements, we need some more help. And they said you have to speak to Isran, and he's like, no, I don't want that dick in my house. So.
Yeah.
I remember in an earlier Roundtable character, I was assigned the Armored Frost Troll as my follower. And in order for them to start housing trolls at the Fort Dawnguard, you have to also do that one where you go out and bring the extra Dawnguard folks back.
You
get Bob and Frank, and they'll set up a smith and set up the animal pen and set up all that good stuff for you.
You got the alchemist or enchanter, whatever he is, and the smith, and then the troll person.
I'm actually thinking of moving into Fort Dawnguard and making it my main homestead once that sort of fleshes out a little bit more.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah, I tried to do it, but the storage isn't safe.
At all, anywhere in the whole damn house. Huh.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe I'll make a policy of selling absolutely everything.
Actually, I might be wrong. That he does give you. I think you have a bed that's near Isran's.
Yeah, I thought one of those chests was safe.
Yeah, I would assume whatever your bed is the safe.
Just one chest in a barrel or whatever.
Yeah, the other,
And I haven't found a full set of it yet, but once I get full Dawnguard armor, I'd like to move into Dawnguard armor. I don't even know what I'm wearing now. I was in robes for most of the first couple of quests for perks on destruction magic. Gosh, what am I in now? Oh, I think I found some light armor, and I've got it enchanted with some destruction magic perks and some magic regeneration right now.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to move into some Dawnguard, like some full-blown Dawnguard armor, and move into the Dawnguard fort once all this sort of gets ironed out a little more.
Plus,
sorry.
I was going to say just a quick thing about restoration. I know you didn't get restoration this time, but Florentius has some great restoration spells against the undead. So you can buy those once you get him, and then you can use destruction and sort of like some restoration spells.
Are vampires considered undead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. I kind of assumed, but I didn't know if that was just for, like, Draugr or skeletons or whatever.
No, that's why, I mean, vampires can breathe indefinitely
Live
underwater
forever.
and so on and so forth, resistant to
Okay.
poison and all that stuff.
Oh, that's a cool perk. I didn't even think of that.
What's that?
Breathing
underwater.
indefinitely underwater. You don't have
Yeah.
to come up for air.
No, I don't think so. Not
That's
as a
cool.
vampire.
And
Yeah.
that's all vampires, not just the vampire lord.
No, I think that's all vampires. Yeah.
That's cool. Good.
Um,
So, what are some of the aspects that are added to the game once you load on this DLC of Dawnguard? How has the game changed when you load on this particular DLC?
Yike.
Well, you get a couple. Isn't there a couple places where they not where they appear, but a couple extra like little caves, or places where vampires are living?
Yeah, 24 new places it says on UASP here. Yeah.
You get those, and then of course you get they come and kill all the important people in the town when while you play. That happens.
So there are no vampire attacks until you load this DLC?
Yeah, no vampires until.
But there's vampires in the vanilla game without the DLC.
Is there?
Aren't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
There's like Broken Fang Cave, that was there before.
Yeah, but you don't
believe.
get the intrusions into the city or any incursions.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Didn't it add smithing arrows as well, or was it?
Yeah,
That
massive
was
combat or
Hearthfire,
something?
wasn't it?
Hearthfire. Was it Hearthfire?
I don't remember if it was Hearthfire or if it was Dawnguard.
One of them. Yeah, one of them did add smithing arrows. It may
Uh-huh.
have been Vanguard.
And that's very cool. I did that for the first time. The last episode of the previous season, I had never smithed an arrow, and everyone was laughing at me because it took me that long to smith a damn arrow.
And didn't it Lost to the Ages quest and the
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark Light Tower as well?
What's it called?
Yeah.
Darklight.
Where's that?
With,
Remind me of the Darklight Tower.
South of. South
Near
of
Riften.
yeah, Riften.
Near where you do the Malakath quest with the orcs. It's near there.
Oh, okay.
Where
That's
you,
a good quest to get a follower, though, because Ilya is a very, very strong follower. For an early quest, she's a good mate.
yeah, damn right. She's got that. Icicle bloody thing that nearly cleaves anything's head or clean off.
Which one is that?
The one where she kills her mother.
Yeah, at the end, you get to her
Oh,
mother's
right,
outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a Dawnguard add-on? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's also she's a bit squeamish as well for somebody who like killed everybody in that tower and killed her mother.
Yeah.
She won't let you like rob anything or
Like, oh, what are you doing?
yeah. Yeah, I don't think you should be doing that. Shut up, woman.
Goody two-shoes.
Yeah, you just murdered everyone you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut up, woman, and eat that guy over there.
So we've added some locations around. What monsters have we added that are new? Like death hounds, I assume.
Yeah, Death Hound,
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. You can get a troll to follow you. You can get some dogs from the Dawnguard to follow you.
Crossbows.
Crossbows are brand new. Yep, crossbows, and you can enchant those, of course. Are there any new enchantments that you guys know of? Added specifically by Dawnguard?
I don't think. Enchantments? I don't think so. Were there shouts at it?
Yes, I think Drain Vitality is...
I was going to say, is Drain Vitality one? Because that sounds like a vampire. Like, you know how they have that red spell in their hand that they suck your health from you? It kind of sounds similar to that. It says it drains health, magicka, and stamina, all three, though.
Yeah, it's and there's one. I think that there's two. I used to get two in my Xbox version. You'd learn the words, and then you get two different shouts, and one of them had like a 30-second reset, and then there was another one that had like a 10-second reset. So I was using it. You know how I used to use Clear Skies outside.
Mm-hmm.
I used to use Drain Vitality because it also staggers them. You hit them with that, it staggers them, and then I don't know, I used to go in with the attack with the two-handed warhammer, and then like while they're staggered, hopefully I can sort of like kill them, or pull back long enough for the shout to recycle after 5 or 10 seconds, I think it was, and then I'd blast them with it again. It's really
Nice.
good.
That's cool. Colin always thinks of the good,
Yes,
the ways
indeed.
to use things to his advantage and maybe not their intended function. Let's see. You can sleep in coffins. I remember doing that at one point in one of my houses.
Yeah, that gives you, as a vampire, it definitely gives you a buff.
Yeah.
When you sleep.
Okay. Let's talk about being a vampire for a second. What? I know that there's some like disadvantages, like with the sun and maybe stamina regeneration or something. What happens with that with vampires? Where just being one, what do you have to watch out for?
You have to put up with all those mopey girls chasing after you.
Ew.
They love the boys with the white skin and the dark hair.
Yeah.
Sparkly boys.
I honestly don't know because I haven't played a vanilla vampire, so I'm playing with a fairly heavily modded vampire. So I don't know what are the vanilla things.
Well, speak on that experience. What is a modded vampire experience like?
Well, I mean, I don't. Again, okay.
Sorry to throw you such a curveball.
No, it's just me. I'm not good with the details. But this vampiric thirst. I mean, all the debuffs are similar, right? I mean, sensitivity to sun, slower health regeneration. I don't know if that's part of the vanilla thing or not.
I believe that it is.
But certainly, resist poison and all the other breathing underwater. Most of what the mod does, among other things, is add a whole series of little extra perks that come up in their own separate menu that she calls vampiric powers. A lot of really cool stuff. Way too much to go into here. It's worth checking out. But other than that, like I said, I don't really know. I've never done it before. I've never played a vampire before, so I don't really know all the ins and outs yet.
Mm-hmm.
With the Vampire Lord, you get your own perk tree, like the werewolf perk tree.
The werewolf, yeah.
And you've got the melee attack, and you've also got the magical attack. So when you're floating about, you do the magical attack, which is the drain life spell. But you also get like the necromancers, like raising the dead or whatever, raise zombie. Okay. You get that spell as a vampire.
Can a vampire lord do a shout as well? Can you still be dragonborn?
No.
And vampire, you can't do the shouts. Okay.
Nope. None of your magical equipment, like your rings, none of that's in effect.
Okay.
It's just
when you come out of being the vampire, are you naked and like everything is unequipped, like with the werewolf? I remember around Halloween time we were playing as werewolves and vampires going around attacking stuff. But I just remember recalling, I'd never done much werewolf play before, but I remembered every time you came out of it, you were naked and everything was unequipped. You had to go back into your menu and put everything back on again.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think the vampire that keeps everything equipped. I can't remember.
I've only done it a couple times because I didn't really. The mod that I'm using takes away some of the. You have to gain a few of this mod's perks in order to actually fully utilize the vampire lord, like the drain life and so on and so forth. So I had to actually go through some building up of my vampiric talent before. So I haven't really plumbed the vampire lord yet on my end of things. But
when in the storyline does that actually become a thing? That you can actually turn into him? Can you?
Right away, as soon as you take
do that
the
already?
gift from Harkon. Yeah. See, because I that's how I became a vampire. I did not become a vampire before.
Oh, okay. See, yeah. I contracted it running around. I've had to cure it twice already.
Yeah.
Stupid vampires, God.
Got to carry those cure disease potions with you.
I know. I usually have a couple around me, but for some reason I didn't have one on me. I had to go find a shrine to cure myself. I guess it hadn't set in bad enough yet, where a shrine could still cure all diseases or whatever.
So if you want, just let me. I mean, I can go through a couple of things that this mod does. I just pulled up the page here.
Sure. All ears.
So it adds, according to Miss Leaches, who's the mod author, a new hunger system based on blood instead of time. So and you can make that better with perks. Different way of calculating sunlight damage based on weather and shade. Now, I don't know how much of that is also in the vanilla. But with this mod, you can really use shadows, and I've done that. If you get in deep shadows, it does take away some of it. As you get older as a vampire, there's several stages of being a vampire with this mod. So that I believe it's the same stages that the NPC vampires are in, right? So, but your PC vampire goes through the same stages. It takes about, according to the mod author, it takes about 9 months of game time to mature through all the stages. And yeah, she's added like 29 different perks and things like that. Different qualities and flavors of blood. So if you happen to feed off one particular person more than another, you sort of gain a taste for that person's flavor of blood. And she's also claims to have integrated it with Dawn Guard completely and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool mod. So I'm having fun playing with it.
Is there any invisibility perks to being a vampire? Does that come with it? Can you make yourself invisible or anything like that?
I don't know.
Just because I know when you make a potion of vampire dust, you can make that invisibility potion. So I just wondered.
Not that I know of.
I don't think that's in the regular perks. I don't think that you get an invisibility spell. You do get, I think you get a buff to illusion. I think one of the perks is a buff to illusion. I think, if I remember correctly. What else? I was trying to think. There was something else I was trying to say about vampires. But it's the longer you go without drinking blood, the more powerful you become, but you're more susceptible to sunlight.
And what does the sunlight do to you? Like, it reduces your stamina, right? You don't reproduce stamina at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
Yeah,
health,
it ruins your. I think it's everything. No stamina or magicka regeneration. Like once you use it, it's gone.
Could you get around that by just every time you step outside, just waiting? Clicking the select button and waiting 9 hours until it's dark out again, and then doing all of your.
Yeah, but don't do it outside. Do it inside.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean.
Yeah,
of course.
I guess it must be this mod, but if I go out in the sunlight and I don't have enough blood, haven't fed enough blood, I'll just basically burst into flames and turn into a little pile of ash.
It'll kill you? Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more extreme in your mod. I think the longer we go without blood, we become more powerful in the vanilla game. We become more powerful. Like our damage output is increased, and
yeah.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, she's taken that away completely. So I can't. I mean, if I go out in the sun, with the mad dogs and Englishmen, I turn to a pile of dust. But if my blood levels are above 90%, in the mod, then I'm fine. I can sustain being out in the sun without any debuffs.
Does it actually add a little meter in the bottom right-hand corner of your blood percentage or anything like that?
No, but there's a key press. There's just an activate key, and you can look. You can look at where you are, and you can bottle blood. So I can. Bottle
carry it around with you.
People's blood and carry it around with me. Yeah. So.
That's definitely working.
And you said you could develop a taste for specific bloods. Do different blood give you different rebuffs or perks or anything?
I haven't really looked into it deep enough to know to notice that. Yes, she claims that. Yes, let's see, where does it say here? Feeding. Well, I don't know.
Like if you drink the high elf blood, your magicka will regenerate twice as
I don't
fast
think
or
it's
something.
quite that specific.
No.
That would be kind of hard to integrate. Yeah.
Orc blood makes you stupider.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But no, I will report next time.
Sounds
But
good.
you're got a beautiful game there, Victor. Especially those that healing spell that you use, where you're dual casting that healing spell, and it looks like a sun in the center there as your sort of like.
Oh
healing
yeah.
spell.
Oh, so you watched my video? That's right. I saw you put a like on it. Yeah. How did it look okay?
You look great.
Oh,
It was
good.
excellent. The only thing I kept on shouting at the screen was night vision, Victor, night vision, because you have night vision, and you're in the middle of a fight and you couldn't see anything, but you didn't use your night vision. I was like, dude, night vision.
I thought I had it on. Didn't I turn it on at the very beginning of that? Where I went
you
off?
did, and then you turned it off.
Did I? Oh crap! I'm sorry. And the second half of it, something happened with this headphone, and my voice audio is almost inaudible. So I don't know if I'm going to even upload the second half of that. It's too bad. Sorry, I thought I had it on the whole time because I know that's necessary because YouTube darkens things down a lot.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well.
Well, that's cool. So you get night vision also as a perk for being a vampire, as well as breathing underwater and all of that stuff. That's great.
Yeah, but I also use a mod called Predator Vision. That's actually by the guy named the Gopher guy. Who's
Would that be similar to the Khajiit perk?
Yes, but it's not stupid. In other words, it actually looks good. You can actually see. That stupid Khajiit vision is just all blurry and it's just,
Blue almost.
That's dumb.
I've never actually played a Khajiit, so I have no idea.
Yeah. No, it just brightens things up. I mean, the way I look at it, I've used that mod since I first discovered it, and the human eye adjusts to dark spaces. Okay, it does, and so that's the way I look at it. It's not really it's just more realistic. I mean, you still need a torch. The night vision mod doesn't make pitch black rooms bright, so you still need a torch sometimes, or a candlelight spell or something like that. But it does make, and it's particularly for YouTube, it helps a lot. Yeah. So, but I've gotten used to sort of existing at night now. I thought I was going to hate it, but it's actually it's fun to play. So.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing because you're going out. You're never out during the day. That's what happened when I did my vampire playthrough. Dawn Guard. Yeah.
Just run around at night only.
Yeah, well, because you have no stamina, so you can't run away
Um,
from anything during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat with Victor as well and install Predator Vision. I think actually I've already got it installed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna use Predator Vision. You get because it makes sense that werewolves and vampires get night vision. They have
That seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Would make sense.
Also, Predator Vision comes with the sort of what I don't know what you'd call it, the infrared vision, so you can see warm-blooded things nearby.
yeah, the Predator
Detect
Vision
life.
from,
Yeah.
yeah, the Predator Vision from the movie Predator.
Oh,
You know how it goes, all that where you see the body heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can get that as well. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's got both. So I use that to find my meat.
Mr. Peabody looks quite tasty, in fact.
That's right.
Don't
Yeah.
know whether I want to chew all the way through that dragon scale armor, though.
It gets in your teeth a little, I'm sure.
That's right. So, calcium.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Just straight calcium.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Well, all right. Anybody have anything else they'd like to talk about for this week's roundtable?
No, I think I'm all done with that.
Yeah, sounds good.
There was one thing I wanted to mention on the way out. It has nothing to do with any of our quests, but are on the load screen, at least for the vanilla game, they take forever, so they end up toggling through a bunch of different little sentences down in the bottom corner while they have the one remaining image there. So they'll just cycle through a bunch. Is it locked in which little messages appear with particular images? Does anyone know?
You
Or
know,
is that completely random?
I think it's completely random. I think.
Okay, because
I think the very first one goes,
Yeah.
with it, and then the
Yeah.
rest of them are all random.
yeah,
Yeah.
because one happened that I thought was a really funny combination. I couldn't act fast enough to get a picture of the screen, but there was the female mage, I believe. It says something about the College of Winterhold, blah 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 blah, and it has like a female mage holding a staff, like pointing at it.
The Breton female, yeah.
The Breton female, yeah. It, well, 2 or 3 of the informational things down in the bottom right-hand corner cycled through, and one that I thought was funny because there was the female Breton mage up on the screen was like, the cow is one of Skyrim's most diverse. Like, Nords use her leather for. I just thought it was really funny that.
You sexist bastard, yeah.
If you know, just random things like that can pop up every once in a while. Thought it was funny. There, the load screen was trying to call her a cow, but she's useful to the Nords for milk and leather.
For milk and leather.
So I think that'll wrap up our roundtable discussion for this evening. What else were we going to get into later this evening? Probably for another episode coming up very soon. Sort of a sneak peek, Michael. What did you want to do?
Well, depending on what time we have, we could do a little ES6 talk or maybe a Fallout episode. Depending. We'll discuss that after this.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, everyone keep your ear to the ground for another episode coming up pretty soon. So I would just like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in. And
Happy
Skyrim. Another thing that I got an email from one of the new guys who's doing a play-along with us. And he wrote an email of his experiences. Would you like me to read that on the air, or just sort of maybe have him read it himself and send in an audio clip? Or
Well, if you want to read it now, I'll leave the recording going and then edit it in.
Okay, well, let me see if I can access it real quick here. So this is from Caleb Howell. He is doing a play-along for the Dawnguard Daedric Roundtable Season 4. He is an Argonian male with 3 in health, a 2 in magicka, and 1 in stamina. His mage skill is Conjuration. Warrior skill, 2-handed. Thief skill, Alchemy. And his follower is Vorstag. Let's see how he's breaking it down here. He says, Day 1, created Sakritet. Left Helgen, heading for Riverwood while collecting as many ingredients as possible. Crafted a battle axe and a leather armor in Riverwood, then off to the Lover Stone. During the usual trip down from Riverwood to Whiterun, I decided to jump in the river and swim down the rapids instead of taking the path. Having never played an Argonian, I figured that's what a lizard would do. That's a good call. Way quicker than taking the normal route. In my first few game days of preparing my character, I managed to save a stray dog from wolves. Oh man, he already found the stray dog. I've played like hundreds of hours of this game and I've only come across a stray dog once. But he saved a stray dog from wolves who started following him. So here's the quest Dawnguard. I lost everything I own when the Imperials captured me. Spent a couple of days traveling through towns, making a little money and trying to get a hold of some gear. After a while, I heard a guard mentioning something about a Dawnguard, vampire hunters. Excellent. I was off to the fort east of Riften. And then in the wee hours of the morning, I met the carriage rider outside of Whiterun, a funny man, Bjorlam or some other crazy bird name like that, who seems to be waiting just for me. I can't be the only one keeping him in business, can I? Oh well, I toss him some coin and we're off to Riften. The mutt jumps and the carriage too. Oh, so he's actually got the stray dog with him. That's cool. Mangy thing. Oh, can't call it mangy. Poor pup. Although he has started to rub off on me. We arrive at the stables the next afternoon. I slept most of the way and felt like I hadn't slept in ages. Still not used to this cold, though. When we arrived in Riften, I bypassed the city altogether and headed for the fort. I've heard much about this city. It seems to be well suited for an Argonian such as myself. Skeevy underbelly, built on the water. I will come back sometime. On my way to the fort, I met an old orc. An odd fellow, wanted to die after a bit of contemplation, so I drew my axe and brought it down upon him. He was a worthy foe. Continuing on, I came across a huge lodge in the forest. I kept my distance, but 2 mercenaries saw me as a threat and came running. They were right. That's funny. Their shiny armor looked tough, but my axe came across first. First one's throat before his blade could reach me. He lunged at me, I ripped him wide, and then he hit the ground in one motion. The other cowered back to the stable and started firing arrows at me. I waited for a pause, and I walked into the stable and brought my axe down on the top of his head. The first mercenary had quite a nice steel greatsword. I grabbed it and left their armor for the purpose of going light. Through the pass I went on to find out more about this Dawn Guard. I met some fellow on the way up, rambling about nothing. Once inside, I talked with the leader of the group, but decided to keep my intentions hidden for the moment. Sure, whatever gets me closer to the vampires, and more importantly, what they can lend me as far as alchemical knowledge. Looks like we're going after a few of them. This is what I was waiting for. I would finally be able to start mastering their secrets. So, thank you for sending that in, Caleb.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looks like he's heading off towards the Fort Dawn Guard there. And looks like Damien also sent in an audio feedback, which Michael will just tack onto the end of the show.
We'll insert right after this.
Sounds good. All right, so thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Roundtable.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, should I just leave the broadcast going and launch into something new?
Yeah, let's take 5 minutes. I gotta see what Connor's up to.
All right, sounds good. Be back in a few.
Want to just do some ES6 stuff? Oh my gosh, I got feral ghouls coming after me.
Feral ghouls, is that a Minecraft thing?
No, it's a Fallout.
Oh, Fallout.
Oh, I hear my doorbell. Maybe they're here too.
Shoot him in the
Ghouls are
head.
at Victor's house.
Oh god.
All right, I'll be back in a few.
Yeah, I'll be right back. What's up, kiddo? Sure, what would you like? I don't know anything. Well, you only eat like 2 things. So what would you like? can't see anything yet. Ah, there we go.
Alrighty.
Ah.
Hello.
Hello.
How are those feral ghouls treating you?
I haven't gotten back to them yet. I walked into a subway, and then Connor was coming down the steps, and I looked away from the screen, and I looked back, and there's like 5 of them in my face. Damn.
Yeah, you really don't want to go in there.
Oh God. Yeah, I was. I gotta see what's going on.
The mods I've got, I think, slightly overpowered. Everything I shoot in the head dies instantly, which is as it should be, but makes for boring fights.
The ghouls, I'm at the point where I'm killing them pretty quickly now. I think I'm getting leveled up enough where I can adjust the difficulty level. Because I had to adjust it down because everything was just kicking my ass in the beginning. Just everything was. Now I'm kind of getting a feel for it, so it's not so much.
Yeah, it's just that damn no sprint is a killer.
It is because when when something's coming after you, there is no getting away. There's just dying.
You haven't added a sprint mod, Colin?
Not yet, no.
I haven't either added.
There's no sprint. Is there sprint in New Vegas?
Nope.
No.
I have to mod it in. I do have it because I've got New Vegas all modded.
Yeah, I'll definitely add that in when I start playing that.
Yeah, was it? If you go with New Vegas, I would recommend the Nexus and the mod organizer.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy, and then go with. There's 2 main mods that's the most popular, which is NMC's texture pack, which basically retextures the entire game.
Oh, nice.
Just makes everything look better, and it's pretty easy to install. And then the other one is what's the other one's name, Victor?
Is it the game overhaul mod? You said Project Nevada, or
that's it, Project Nevada.
Yeah.
And that one there just gives you like huge amounts of options. You've got grenade hotkeys. You can sort of like hide the sneak meter. You've got a dynamic crosshair, and just adds like huge amounts of features. So that you can make the game as hard as you possibly want it to be. That only 5 headshots will work on any given opponent.
Oh wow!
I've been using Nevada Skies too, which is a weather mod.
Yeah. That one is a pain in the butt. Those you get caught in one of those radiation storms, you better get your butt inside.
I haven't done that yet. No.
Oh, was it? Oh, it creates like dust radiation storms almost.
Mm.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you can't see shit, and it's like 4 rads per second or something like that. So you better get yourself inside quick.
Yeah, I had that on with that mod called Dust, and talk about frequent death.
Yeah, I just had to backtrack. Like, I went all the way up to the top of the damn hotel. But I didn't start that quest, so I went up there for basically no reason, and then got trapped in the hotel because if you don't have the stuff for that quest, you can't get out of the hotel. where you have to, I guess, fix the elevator or something.
Oh, I don't know that.
There's a Riley's Rangers or something it's called.
What, in Fallout 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played Fallout 3. I'm only doing my playthrough, so I haven't done that quest. I've done the the early quest, the cannibal quest. I've done that one. I'm doing the Wasteland Survival Guide. Are you doing that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I just did the mine down. Yeah.
She is one crazy bitch.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just did the radiation one where I irradiated myself, and I just walked down to the bomb and irradiated myself, and then came back.
Did you disarm the bomb yet?
No, I don't have enough skill yet.
Really? How did I manage to disarm the bomb? I just walked up to it and disarmed it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you get like a level 50 science skill or something.
Huh.
I got repair up to level 60, and then I gave it a wallop, and it fixed it pretty easily.
Oh, you know what? I haven't done like any repair yet, so that might be why. It's repair skill you have to have up, right?
But yeah, you just put the points in, yeah.
Something must be bugged then, because I'm just barely starting the game, and I just walked up to it and disarmed the bomb. I mean, I've got Wanderer's Edition going in that, but that's about it, really, except for mutant mods and things like that. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was in my game, it just asked me, did I want to attempt to disarm it? It didn't say that I couldn't disarm it.
Right, yeah.
When I attempted to, it didn't. I wasn't able to. So.
I forget where I put my skills, but I think one of them was in science. So maybe I just have the right skills.
Have the right amount, yeah.
Yeah. I really haven't played enough of it to know what the hell's going on yet.
Yeah, I'm still a little lost. I'm wandering around DC now, obviously, but I'm still trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I've been watching sort of random videos and some of the playthroughs just to see who uses what mods. A guy named Sorcerer Dave has just started a Fallout 3 playthrough, so I've been watching his.
Oh, okay.
He's a pretty good YouTuber. Sort of very similar to Gopher, so his Fallout looks gorgeous. So I've been picking out mods from his playthrough to try. So. Have we started this? I'm sorry.
No, we were just.
I was just asking about feral ghouls.
Ah, feral ghouls. Yep.
Yeah, we were just on feral ghouls. Because I know it's getting late for Colin. What time do you have left?
Oh yeah, I got plenty of time. I don't start work until 11 a.m. So it's half 11 at night now. So
yeah,
got a good hour and a half, 2 hours before I need to go to bed.
You want to, since we're already on the Skyrim thing, do you want to just do a little ES6 talk for like half hour, and I'll call that an episode.
Sure.
And then we could then I'll switch over to we'll open a new hangout for the Fallout episode.
Oh, okay.
That way it's separate on the thing.
Sounds good to me.
Whenever. All right. Let me pause Fallout. So I don't get attacked in the middle of an episode.
Yeah, really.
Let me open up GarageBand. All right. Good. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
All right, let me hit record. Welcome back, Skyrim Podcast. And this time I am joined by Andrew.
Hello.
Victor.
Hello.
Colin.
Goodbye.
And we're going to do a little Elder Scrolls 6 speculation talk, hope talk. Let's put it that way. Elder Scrolls 6 hope talk. We'll call it.
2016.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Is that hopeful enough?
I don't know. I'm thinking 2017 now. If they're getting the
no.
amount of pre-orders they're getting for fall, Jesus, they're not
Yeah.
going to get the money for another year after
They
that.
can milk it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to speculate on what we would like to see in that. And I guess we have a little more to go off of now with seeing some of the things in 4. With seeing some of the things they're doing that. Although we don't know the specs or anything on that yet. So.
Yeah, if like starting off with like the lead from Fallout 4, I don't think they're gonna do a voiced character for Elder Scrolls 6.
I don't think it
I
works
don't-
the same.
No, because you'd have to have a voice actor for the elves, one
yeah.
for the humans, one for the Khajiit, one for the Argonians,
Yeah, that's
and then
a
you'd
good
have
point.
all the females ones as well, and I don't think Elle would suit it, so I don't think we have anything to worry about really for Elder Scrolls Risk, as in like with a voice acted thing.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that. That's a good point. Yeah, when you have so many different races, it's way different. You can't just do a male-female voice. It's got to be.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
Just a little tiny little thing to Victor. If he ever decides to do a Khajiit playthrough, there's a mod which changes all the subtitles to the Khajiit way of talking. So you talk in third person. So when you're talking to anybody, this guy has redone all the quests and everything like that. So one is going to go Bleak Falls Barrow.
That's
One shall
funny.
retrieve the. This one shall retrieve the Dragging Stone for you and things like that. It looks
It'd be like the Yoda mod for Skyrim too. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I think the only problem is that if you load it in with a Breton character and you load that mod in, it still works. It won't
Well,
when you're not a Khajiit or not. So just make sure it's
we're
in the
still
right
the masters of
profile.
our own destiny, right?
Yeah.
You've heard of Raised by Wolves. This one was.
Yeah.
Praise my Khajiit.
Yeah. That's
Sorry.
right.
Find the Facebook thing where we brought that up.
I've got it pulled up on my phone.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to pull it up on the thing here. But anyway, all right. So I got it now. So we see that, like in Fallout 4, you're gonna have the where you can build your stronghold kind of thing. Do you think they'll expand like the housing /
Absolutely.
Can you explain that out a little further? Because what little I know of it, it sounds incredibly interesting. I really enjoyed Hearthfire, being able to build my own house. So just building my own community sounds like ultra, a good thing.
Well, from what it's showing, you can pretty much set it up however you like, and you have to have defenses and et cetera, et cetera. I was like in obviously in Elder Scrolls, it'll be bandits coming after you as opposed to raiders or whatever else, or vampires, of course, could come after you. God forbid, and kill everybody and ruin the town. But I guess depending on where it is how it's going to be built, though. Depending on what part of was it Nern it is, that depends on what the housing and all is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of I'm beginning to wonder if at this point with the power of the systems that are available to them nowadays and so on and so forth, why would they limit themselves to one province again? Why not just open it up to the whole of Tamriel? It just makes more sense to me.
Yeah, because map size, Fallout 4 is what, twice the size of Skyrim, I believe they were saying.
Something like that, yeah.
So somewhere in that range. So
Wow.
a little more than that.
But I've heard Skyrim is actually a smaller map for an Elder Scrolls game, isn't it?
Well, comparatively, I mean, if you go back to like Daggerfall, is
Daggerfall was
it's
like
immense.
8 times the size.
Yeah,
or something.
but I mean,
There was like nothing on it though. It was like a lot of space. Yeah.
right. But I don't know. It seems logical to me. Although it certainly would be difficult for them to do. They might have to do more of like a Witcher 3 kind of thing where you have a huge map, but then the game focuses on sections of it, which are large, but still aren't. You can't just sort of traverse the entire world. In other words,
It would kind of be like a Solstheim almost, except with larger sections.
yeah, something
Or you
like
have
that,
to
I guess.
Yeah, you have to leave Skyrim to go to Solstheim.
Yeah.
No.
But that makes sense to me. I love the idea. I mean, this new-ish sort of crafting system they've got for Fallout 4 with all the really tiny little details like screws and things like that. That's has awesome potential in an Elder Scrolls game as well.
Yeah, for scavenging weapons and materials from
Yeah.
wherever, as opposed to having to get, go to a mine, get some ingots,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. You could melt down. Well, I mean, obviously in modding you can already do that. You can, melt down gear, break down gear, and get whatever out of it. But having other things have stuff in it as well, like,
Pots
shoes.
and pans.
Yeah, you can melt down pots and pans that are
That
laying.
would be great. There's tons of pots all over the place.
Yeah.
Lockpicks.
Yeah, being able to make lockpicks would be nice. I mean, not that you ever really run out. I mean, in Skyrim it gets pretty quick. You don't need them anymore. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to make them. Just adding that little thing. I assume there'll be lockpicking. I mean, obviously we all hope they go back to the Oblivion model.
Shut up.
No.
Mr. David!
The greatest version of lockpicking.
I was wondering. Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game, so I was wondering, what kind of just overall huge overarching differences are there between Oblivion to Skyrim, and then Morrowind to Oblivion, and then Daggerfall to Morrowind. With each generation of the game, I assume it's has an essential core, but what have been the big steps each time? I kind of have to know that in order to know for what I can try to predict will happen for the sixth game, because I don't have a knowledge of the past games at all.
Between Oblivion and Skyrim, it was other than obviously graphics and things like that. It was just tweaks to what they had before. I mean, you were able to just kind of do what you wanted in Oblivion as well. It wasn't
I remember when you're signing up your character, you had to choose a class or something.
That was
That's Morrowind.
That's Morrowind, yeah. That's a little different, where you had to choose a class and kind of had attributes that were strengths and not.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have that a little bit in Oblivion, right? There's major and minor. Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's something
I remember
the stars, you're under
You're under this whatever constellation or that one.
Yeah,
you had to choose between an acrobat or a this or that. Different things like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of tweak that with the standing stones, where they give you a boost to certain things. But
Okay.
yeah, that definitely worked better in Skyrim.
Yeah, that was sort of I don't know if you'd call it revolutionary, but that was sort of the one of the great things that Skyrim sort of introduces, which some people actually hate, but is that completely free-form, character creation. You can be anything, you can change it halfway through the game, you can do whatever you want, and that I hope they never get rid of that. It just makes a huge amount of sense to me.
So what's the next step of that then? For character creation, where can this go? What would you expect to see in the next edition?
purple mohawks.
That shoot sparks, yeah.
Our buddy Juan is already there and loving it.
I think skill-wise, I don't think you need a complete overhaul. I think you just tweak it and make it better. Just like they kind of have done all along the way from Morrowind, Oblivion to Skyrim. It's not although it was a big change from Oblivion to Skyrim in that you go and you can do anything in Skyrim at all times. You kind of had that in Oblivion. It was the middle step between Morrowind and Skyrim. So you're not going to get a massive overhaul, I don't think. I think you'll just get a tweak of what you have. adjust what you have, which is fine because it worked so well.
I don't think there was much wrong with the leveling system.
Yeah,
You don't.
it
Where,
felt
in Skyrim, you mean? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly lots of tweaks. You can see it reflected in all the mods out there. All the perk overhaul mods, and I think, to some extent, I think the Bethesda simplified Skyrim a little bit to work on consoles. And I do think the perk system could be a lot more interesting and complex.
I agree. I think you could have second levels to things, and
Yeah.
if you wanted to focus on something, you could.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I mean, you'll see in some of the perk overhauls like Spurg that we're using in the modcast, there's a lot of cross-pollination that he built into the perk trees where a perk and alteration will affect all of your, magicka regeneration or whatever, things like that aren't necessarily, those things aren't necessarily present in the vanilla game. Those things make a lot of sense,
Yes, certainly.
But a lot of that is Sunday or is Monday morning or is Monday quarterbacking or whatever you want to call it. It's somebody who's looked at what Bethesda did with Skyrim and made it better, not necessarily created something on their own. So there's a lot of that too. I'm sure Bethesda will feed off a lot of that.
That certainly helps them. I mean, the modding helps them create the next game essentially.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Because they can see what went right, what went better, or what was made better by the community. So that does give them a leg up. The amount of modding that goes on with the game certainly gives them a leg up over other games, I would think.
Well, it sure gives them an idea of what people are thinking of and so on. Yeah, I mean, I guess forging arrows is a good example. Nobody really knows whether Bethesda had that in the wings already or not. But it was one of the first mods ever, extensive mods ever made after the game came out. And sure enough, along comes, was it Dawnguard or whatever, one of the DLCs that introduced making arrows. So.
Well, even Hearthfire came out after the housing mods really hit.
Yeah, that one I wonder.
But I'm sure they had that in the works. So
I think they probably did. Yeah.
It came out so soon after. I mean, I would assume it was something they pretty much had.
Yeah.
Thought ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the other major evolutionary thing between the three latest Elder Scroll games is the combat. I mean, Morrowind was. Well, you kind of had to get used to it. It wasn't really, as immediate and interactive. Oblivion is again, it's sort of a bridge. I think I really like Skyrim's combat. I like the way it's especially in first person. It's very well, interactive, I guess, is the best way to put it. It's very immediate. There's a lot of things that could be made better about it, and the character movement across the landscape in Skyrim frankly sucks. It's terrible. That's one of the major things they could do far better. I mean, even a new game like Witcher 3 hasn't done it very well. So if Bethesda can learn something from games like Dying Light, in which you are in first person parkour, which is really seamless, it really works well, and you can jump up, climb up, grapple, all kinds of cool things you can do in that game. I think that would be an awesome addition to the next Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, it would be nice to not be able to walk straight up mountains. Or like have your horse be able to go straight down mountains. A little more difficulty in that kind of, a little more realism in that kind of area to make it a little more difficult travel, but also give you a map with fucking roads on it. Jesus.
Roads would be nice. Indeed. Even if they wanted to introduce a fog of war concept to it, so you have to open up the map in order to see the roads, that's fine. But just put the fucking roads on the frickin' map.
Oh my god! When I went to we just did the round table, so when I went to Dim Hollow Crypt, I'm on the wrong side of the damn mountain. I gotta go walk all the way around the mountain just to get to Dim Hollow Crypt.
Yeah.
That would be quite frustrating. So
I
yeah,
always remember that being a horrible place to try to get to.
it was. If you go to the wrong side, it definitely is. There is no doubt. If you go to the correct side, you're good. You're there, But go to the wrong side, you're done. And I'm okay with like secret paths and shortcuts and things like that. But
Sure.
can we put the main roads?
Yeah.
That would be a nice a nice add-on. I have a couple of the Facebook ones since I got that up. We have Sherry with non-human children, which I think is a good one because there's all kinds of characters. That just makes sense.
Have they ever added a race between games, or have there always been this set number of races for all the Elder Scrolls?
No, I don't think there was as many in Morrowind, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what it was, though, off the top of my head.
So from time to time, they do add a new race to the game.
I don't think they did between Oblivion and Skyrim.
There is more races in the lore that I've never done, but I think I remember all the races being in Morrowind.
Yeah, I think they are.
Oh, maybe it was before that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That could be.
I mean, which races are you thinking of, Colin? Like the Aliads and things, or?
No, there's something called. I don't know whether they're I don't know whether they're playable races as how you'd think of them, but there's like something called a Slowed.
Oh right, yeah.
There's a few other. I think there's there's Sea Elves. They look very like snow elves, like Farmer, but like as they're white skinned.
That's right. I remember reading about them in somewhere. Yeah.
They're in ESO, I think. And there's a couple of other races as well. There's goblins. I think have their own social hierarchy and things like that, but they're not really a playable. They're more like the farmer type things. Where they're more creatures than they are. But I think there's a few others ones.
Can you imagine how cute it would be to have a couple of goblin kids running around?
The goblin were way worse than the farmer because you could not see those guys when you went in their caves.
Yeah.
Oblivion,
they're cute until they grow up.
Yeah. As far as lighting, Oblivion is like pitch black in some spots. Yeah, I mean there is no forgiveness. I mean, you go into a cave and all of a sudden there's like a goblin in your face. You're like, ah, what are you doing? The caves were definitely much darker. But I would like a little more variety in, speaking of that, like in caves and dungeons and stuff too. Felt like Skyrim, they got a little too cookie cutter at times.
A little bit, yeah. The Nordic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess just back to races for 1 second. I think for me anyway, the number one top most wanted thing for them to bring into ES6 is the Dwemer.
Yeah.
That
Have
would
they ever
be
appeared in a previous game?
not that I know of.
They've been dead. So, yeah, I think they've been dead.
Wasn't there what?
Was it Arena? Were they in Arena or something? Or
No, wasn't there one in?
There was one
in Morrowind.
in Living. Yeah, there was one Living one. Yeah.
I didn't play enough of Morrowind.
So that seems fun. Like if they would include them somehow, that'd be cool, right?
It would be. I don't know if I want their full history, but I want more.
Yeah.
Just a little more. Enough to be like, oh, but leave the mystery, but give us more.
Oh no, I want the mystery solved. I want to know.
Oh, you want the mystery solved?
Oh yeah, I want the Dwemer back.
Yeah, see, I worry about that because it's like Lost. When you get the mystery solved,
sometimes it can be
it turns out they were
severely
lying all
disappointing.
the time. Yeah.
are you really like, yeah, that was a great mystery?
Well, you gotta bring up a new mystery.
That's true. You can always do that.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
But anyway,
That's a possibility.
I'd love to see that.
I think that's something they might be afraid to solve.
Yeah, you're right. Because no matter what they do, a large faction of people are going to hate it, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much you're going to be able to do with something like that. So,
wasn't it something about the pissed off Lorcan or something like that? I think that's what some people were saying. When they cut out Lorcan's heart or something, they were messing around with it.
Oh, yeah, there's something. Yeah. That's how they just all vanished at once or something. And
Yes. Well, some people are saying that. Some people are saying it's the Ethereum, that they were messing around with that, and it took them to a different plane or something like that.
well, it had to be a massive disappearance all at once.
Right, because there's plates and things out and all in the drummer ruins. There's like they just sort of went away. Yeah.
There's no corpses. Yeah.
Right.
There's no bodies. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Andrew wants to
hopefully
go
we'll find out.
Yeah, maybe we'll get something anyway.
Yeah.
Andrew wants to go backwards and get underwater monsters. Because he's obviously never played Oblivion with those goddamn. What are they? What are the fish? Slaughterfish.
Yeah.
The slaughterfish in Oblivion are monsters.
Oh, are they? Just in Skyrim, slaughterfish are basically the only thing in the water that'll ever really go after you.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And
I mean,
they really
I
don't
always
do
want to
much.
see maybe a dragon that lived in the ocean instead of flew around. Maybe like a plesiosaur that has some sort of crazy underwater cyclone breath or something. Like some just cool underwater monsters would be.
Well, you can't.
A big add-on.
Can't really. Well, in Skyrim, you couldn't battle underwater.
There's another thing you can add then. Like,
I believe in Oblivion.
Have some sort of water-based attacks too.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice. You have the Argonian race, so it would be nice to
Make
have
use
a
of them, yeah.
A little extra for them underwater.
Well, that's some of the speculation is that the next one is Black
Marsh.
Yeah.
Argonia.
Well, apparently that's lore.
Dummies.
That is lore friendly. Apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, I guess, but still.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But I would.
Black March is what the Nords call it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And spell creation also. That was.
That's something they got rid of, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Oblivion,
yeah, it is.
where you could kind of mix and match and add things together.
Yeah, I always thought that sounded cool, so they should bring that back.
Yeah, I think they could do it in a much better way, in a more streamlined way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, the more variety in the spells.
Yeah. That would be nice too.
Some sort of more imaginative. I mean, that's going back to what Victor was saying about the perk overhauls, but more imaginative perks, I would say. I've got one in Spurg where it's if you know how you can specify was it one-handed swords or one-handed maces or one-handed war axes, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
In those ones, in mods, you pick the perk and it makes great swords swing 30% faster, but makes all two-handed weapons move 15% faster. Because you've learned that skill. You can sort of the only thing about it is that you're better with a greatsword than you are with a warhammer.
Yeah.
And obviously it's bigger and tougher, so it's going to swing a little slower than anything else.
So just like one more step further into the detail of each category.
Yeah, just so you can really build a specific character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you said, make an underwater quest of where you've got it, like you did in the Chardak, a tiny little bit where you're going through all the water. Mm-hmm. If you were an Argonian, you'd be loving that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump
make
down
it
here.
really easy for you. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I'm going to fly there. Maybe he can have a little bit of underwater vision as well. He's got a second pair of eyelids, like crocodiles, they can see through. So a little bit better underwater than other people can.
Yeah.
So if you're playing another character, you're going to have to have water breathing spell or a water breathing potion, or you cannot do this quest.
Oh, that's a good idea. What's that weed that Harry Potter ate and got killed on the web feed?
It's very it's very Gillyweed.
Gillyweed.
How did I not remember that? We could add that to me.
Victor approves.
I would like to see repairing armor and weaponry come back too.
Yeah.
I like that it degrades. I don't think it should stay. And Andrew in the comments said about the enchantments for the armors also should also break down, just like
Yeah, maybe sectionable armor as well. So
yeah.
You can increase the durability of the breastplate. Maybe more. I know you had your boots, but you didn't have like greaves. It was
True.
like the armor was like breastplate and legs as well.
Yeah.
Whereas you could probably separate it out a bit more.
One
Left-handed
issue with
rings.
that, I have a lot of. I find a lot of games that do that tend to overdo it, so things degrade too fast, and a lot of these new sort of survival games do that. Where you have 3 swings with your stone axe and it's broken. So I think they need to try to balance that well, because sometimes it's just overdone. That's why I have an issue with mods like Frostfall, which is adds the the hyperthermic survival elements to Skyrim, and you can walk outside and freeze to death within minutes of game time, which is ridiculous. It's just stupid as far as I'm concerned. It's overdone.
Yeah, it's too much.
So I think they need to be, if they do that, they need to be careful with it.
Yeah, it needs to be balanced and not just take you completely out of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe a hardcore mode.
That would be nice. Just to have that option in a vanilla game would be nice.
Maybe an Iron Man mode, so you can all have could have a site that goes to it, which is connected to your game. Seeing as all the consoles now are going to be connected, not permanently have to be connected to the internet, but a cloud serving thing, and connects your game to other people can see. I seen Victor's post earlier on about was it the Tamriel combined mod or something like that?
That looked like fun. We should try that. You can't really play the game, but you can sort of run around in the world together. You can't do any questing or fighting or stuff like that. But Brew Duel just had it on their site, on their YouTube site, and it just looked like a lot of fun. You sort of start a server, and then people join it, and you just sort of run around in Skyrim. But I thought we could, do a group shot of as many people who can get into it.
Yeah, it does seem like a pretty cool thing. Even if you can't quest, it's still you get to go around and be in the world.
Yeah.
Can you shoot magic at each other?
I don't think so. No, and I'm not sure. I don't think there's even an element where you can talk via headset together. I don't think that's even part of it. So I don't. He's working on it. It's very much a work in progress. Yeah.
I know. Was it Sherry wanted? Was it? I think it was Sherry wanted. Was it? I've forgotten the bloody name of it. Where you're playing with friends, but in a limited way.
Co-op play, right?
Co-op. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted co-op play.
That would be
between
fun.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Isn't that what ESO was attempting to do, sort of?
That's MMO. That's not really co-op.
I'd much rather co-op play. I just don't have very much interest in going into ESO for some reason.
It's a very different experience. Yeah,
it is.
Co-op, you're playing with for the same goal. You don't have to worry.
That would be sweet. That would be. Really
I think ZeniMax tried pretty hard to preserve that sort of solitary experience of an Elder Scroll game within the structure of an MMO. But I guess you still have to do the PvP if you want to advance to certain levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck. I'm in. I'm at level 7 something. The area I'm in is level 8. and I'm trying to level up because you level up by doing quests and killing enemies. So either I stay in I've done all the quests in the level 7 zone. So if I can either stay there and kill these types of creatures for the next 1,000 years to level up to level 8 and then go into the next one. But I'm stuck right now because I've got to do a quest, and one of the quests is that I drink this potion, and it completely wipes out your characters, all their abilities, or it weakens them to a severe effect. So when then you've got to pick a fight with one of the followers, and she just continuously kicks my ass. There's no way of beating her. Absolutely no way of beating her. So I can't continue that quest. So now I'm going to have to continue to go out and level up somewhere else, do another quest and do another things, just for that one thing.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying. So the easiest way to level up will be to go to the PvP area, but I don't want to go to the PvP area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my problem. I would. It would be nice if I had, started out with MMOs early on, But I know that when I get into situations like that, I'm going to suck, and I'm going to drag everybody else down around me, and I don't that's why I don't play Dota or League of Legends or anything like that, I tried some of the PvP stuff in Destiny, and it's just, oh my god. It's just die. So, what is the PvP like in ESO, Colin? Have you done much of it at all?
No, I haven't done anything at all.
No,
I went into the area and fought a few of the NPCs that were in there, but never actually went up against any of the other players because it's all organized because it's a war. So you got to join a clan, and you got to show up with that guild and join that guild and go in it. You can't just sort of go to some random place and start killing people.
Yeah.
At least I couldn't find it anyway. It was all.
No, I think you're right. I think that's how it works.
It was where I found it. It was all a structured war. You have to join up with that and be a soldier in this army and then go off. You can't just find some random guy who's playing as an archer and start whiling on his head because he's an archer.
Yeah.
So it's semi-organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I hope they keep a lot of that out of ES6. I think that doesn't really have a place in an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. I like to just clean single player kind of do. If you want to have the co-op mode, I like that. I don't want it to infringe upon the gameplay though, where it's like you have to do the co-op. Like I think it was it one of the Fables had a co-op, and there were certain things you couldn't complete without it. So that kind of that's nice to have to to have that in there, but I don't want it to get in the way of finishing the entire story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was it? If you go into certain quests, it's going to be a lot tougher if you go in there alone than if you go in with a follow-up. So just make it super tough that if you're a sneaky archer coward, it's going to be nice and easy because you just sit back and nobody sees you and you shoot them in the eye. Or you can go in there as a two-handed and get your ass handed to you, so you need to go out and run back to Whiterun and grab Lydia and say, come on, you need to come and save my ass.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think the co-op would be fun as long as you can play with people because that's the other element of a lot of this MMO stuff and a lot of these Dota games and also of these these big MMO survival games where griefing is just it's just impossible to have fun playing because somebody is constantly out to just kill you. That's all it's all about, and that's just not fun.
That definitely kind of takes away any enjoyment from the game.
Yeah. So.
Especially when, if you're someone who has a limited amount of time and, you don't want to be constantly just getting your ass kicked.
Schooled by 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally. Who have reflexes far beyond my 57 years. It's like I can't find the right frickin' key sometimes. Mashing around on the keyboard. God. Or maybe that was the bourbon. I don't know. No, I definitely I can feel it. I just do not have the reflexes that I used to have, and so I can't play games like that. I no longer Twitch.
I would definitely like to see like more dynamic NPCs though, where they actually change what they think and say to you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Based on what you've accomplished, as opposed to
Yeah.
Yeah, the poster child for that right now really is Witcher 3. It is an amazing game when it comes to that stuff. It's so beautifully done. It's just gorgeous, and they it's a much more immersively acted game than any of the Elder Scrolls games. So everything is voiced and so on. So it's a different style of game, but yeah, the NPCs are amazing.
I was in Dawnstar the other day, and it was in the middle of the night, and I just kept waking up the Jarl, and he would get out of bed, stand up, and talk to me, and then he would lay back down.
Yeah.
And then I would ask him another question. He would stand up and talk to me. He would lay back down. I did this so many times. I'm like, eventually the Jarl, the commander of this section of Skyrim, they would eventually get pissed off. So they need to have some sort of reaction. I did it. I don't know. I just thought it was so funny. I did it like 10 times in a row, just bugging the shit out of the Jarl. Like, he would at least call the guards or something.
you would think, yeah. You would hope he would anyway, but
Yeah.
But I mean, even after you save the entire world, it's just you don't
They
get.
still say crap to you all the time.
Yeah, or like you're the leader of the Thieves Guild, and then you're going to get those Radiant quests, and they're like, oh, you better go finish it. Like, really? I am the leader.
I'm your leader.
Yeah.
I could fire you.
Yeah.
I have brought it back to prominence. What are you talking about?
No.
So I would like to see that kind of thing, and I think that's something they could accomplish in the next one. I would think.
I don't know if it's just true or not, and I hate to sort of dump on consoles, but I have the feeling that some of that is because they had to make it workable on the existing consoles, and so compromises were made. There's a lot of scripting involved in those kinds of branching things, and takes a fair amount of computing power, and so.
Yeah, I would think that kind of limitation is definitely because of the consoles now.
Yeah.
And I am a mostly console player now, but
Well, I think we're past some of that anyway, because the power of this generation of consoles is so far above what the 360 and the PS3 were, as good as they were in their time.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking machines that are 10 years old now or whatever they are, as compared to the new ones. So hopefully there's enough power there to do the different things they want to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand they need those limitations for the consoles because that's just where they make their money too. So
yeah,
kind of is what it is.
Well, Xbox has done their thing with the backwards compatibility, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, that's
really
at least people who play that. Yeah.
And now with of course the mods being available too. Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that's gonna. That still remains to be seen how that's gonna work. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. The last was not the most recent, but the day one of Giant Bomb's live feed. Okay. They were interviewing Phil Spencer, and the other guy who's the Xbox guy, and they were talking about how they made the Xbox, how they made the backwards compatibility work, which is pretty cool. I mean, they just basically created a virtual machine because the Xbox 360 is a PowerPC machine, and the Xbox One is an Intel machine, so they had to basically just create a virtual machine for all the Xbox games to run on, the Xbox 360 games to run on. It's pretty cool. But how that's going to work with mods, I don't know. There's an awful lot of. It might be just graphical mods, simple mods, because load order is important, and patches and things like that. I just don't know how that would possibly work.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, the other thing is thankfully we're going to get, or whatever. I guess Fallout's going to be the guinea pig for it, essentially, compared to, with the Fallout 4 is going to be the guinea pig for that.
Yeah.
Long before 6 comes out. So hopefully whatever bugs are there will be worked out by then too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I would assume it would be similar to the Steam, how the mods are done on Steam, where you just subscribe and you don't have to worry too much about load order and things like that. It's more of a simplified version.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would think it would kind of follow that pattern.
Yeah.
And I kind of had a feeling they were going that way with the whole paid mod things, because I assumed that, they were doing it because Microsoft and the likes wanted some money.
That's a good point. I don't know. That could very well be. Although somebody recently just come out and said no, there aren't going to be. That's not going to happen with Fallout 4. At least not in the near future. So.
Well, yeah, they said the modding on. I believe that was at the Microsoft E3 event, that the mods were going to be free.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be paid mods. So they're still on that. But that's always, those things can always change.
Yeah, so someday, regardless of what we want, filthy lucre will have its way.
Yeah, I mean it's going to happen. I don't think we can. Yeah. I don't think it's going to stop it from happening.
No.
The likelihood at some point. But you're always going to have, you're always going to have the PC end with the mods available for free. So there's that. But I think they'll definitely try and dip in to make some money on the console players on that end at some point.
It only makes sense.
That makes, it'll start out free and we can't maintain because it costs too much money, so we'll have to charge you.
Well, I do hope they don't go the route of microtransactions in these games. I know it doesn't.
I would hate to see that. Yeah, that I would hate to see.
So that would be something I don't want to see in Elder Scrolls 6. So
definitely not.
I want to get an app so you can do your smithing, enchanting, and alchemy away from the game.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the big things I've always wanted.
I think definitely things seem to be moving that way. I mean, the Pip-Boy is now an iPhone app, right? So, and looks like it's going to, be integrated into the game. So I don't see why that wouldn't be completely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge one for me. I want to see that. I want to be able to access things, not the full game, obviously, but parts of it while away from it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I just wondering how we're actually going to get our jobs done then.
What are you worried about?
I mean, jobs?
Hey, lady, fix your own goddamn thing.
That's right.
Look, if it takes long enough for this game to come out, we'll all be retired.
That's right. Yeah, probably. Oh God. No, I won't be retired because I'll be spending too much money buying more powerful computer hardware, so I can play the stupid games.
I have to get that retirement job just to buy the hardware.
Yeah.
You could ask great at Walmart.
That's how my kids got all their computers. Dad wanted to play the latest game, so he built a new one and gave the last one to whoever needed one. So.
Oh, that's the way to go. There you go. That's the way to get it.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I think we covered a lot of what could possibly happen. Better followers. There's another one.
Yeah. I like for smithing, just to be able to make more varied looks. Like if the ebony helmet looks cool, but I'd also like to see it in different forms. So.
Yeah, just a little more variety.
A little more variety in there, yeah.
Totally.
I think that's definitely something they can accomplish with more powerful consoles and stuff.
And I remember thinking one time that I'd be super sneaky when going up to one of the exit towers from Blackreach, and I would use, oh man, I'll just use my telekinesis and pull that lever.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
But it didn't work, and I was like, why on earth? This should work. Like, telekinesis should be able to move everything that is movable, and we know that lever is movable. And I don't know. So,
that would be nice for sure.
Yeah,
That's
just little stuff like that.
Any other thoughts from anyone?
No, I think we covered most of the ground there.
Well, let's see. The end of our Elder Scrolls marathon, if you're listening on YouTube, or if you're listening to the audio episodes, it's they're broken down. Because I'm going on vacation, so we need stuff.
Content.
Heading out to Comic-Con. So
that's right. Yeah.
When it comes out, I'll be in beautiful either somewhere in the Southwest, in California / Nevada. So.
You're gonna meet up with Juan, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I should be in San Diego a day or two ahead of time, so I'd like to definitely do that. I wanted to do it last year, but we had ditched our car before that, so that wasn't, we got rid of our car too soon. And
no.
Public transportation in Southern California isn't.
It's not like it is in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's not all you would like it to be.
Yeah.
It's functional to some extent, but it's not like, it's definitely not.
I just don't really hear people of using the Los Angeles subway. You know what I mean?
No. They do have like a trolley system in San Diego.
Yeah.
But it's not as efficient as you would see here. It's not like here, but or anywhere else. People like their cars there. So it's been another episode of Skyrim Podcast, and I already have a thing at the end, so I don't have to say anything. If you would like, please leave us some reviews on iTunes. It helps the show out. And check out the Fallout feed, the Fallout show, which is on the Fallout feed.
Where the Fallout stuff is.
Where the Fallout stuff is. But it's all over the website. So there's that. So that's all I got. So later, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
All right, I stopped the recording there. Okay. Ooh, my ears.
Hey.
I had to take off my glasses because it was hurting my ears.
Yeah, that happens to me after a while with these headphones on.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, I can still read without them. It's just not as comfortable. Save this file. Yeah, I figured out what I completely screwed up on the Skyrim episodes last week. For some reason, I thought I was on episode 62 and not 64, and made 2 episode 62s apparently, and then put out the old one.
Oops.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like
this. Why? What?
He's uploading something that I think I've heard this before.
I was
maybe he just stockpiled a bunch of stuff and is uploading it again. But I think
I
I've
was
heard this before.
so completely screwed up. It's not even funny. I was just like, what did I do? And when I finally figured it out, I'm like, oh my god, I was just all completely out of whack. Do you want to start another live event real quick?
Sure.
Since do you want to do that, Andrew? Since you're in the Skyrim Addict one, I'm in Chatterbox Gmail.
Okay, you want me to start another live event right now?
Yeah, we'll close this one out. Just call it the Fallout Feed Episode 2 live. That's all.
So we should close this hangout out and
yeah, and then just send us the link again, and we'll hop into that one.
All right. See you in a minute.
Yeah.
All right.